Hello everyone, and welcome to a Shadowfell Symphony. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Liz, and I will be your Dungeon Master for tonight. We are thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. For those of you who are new to D&D, everyone here plays fantasy characters in a fantasy universe. The 5 players each have their own unique character with sheets that tell them who they are, what they can do, their deepest secrets, and what dice to roll. They will be mostly rolling this. Not this specifically, but they will be rolling a 20-sided die to see if they succeed in what they're trying to do. The higher the roll, the more likely they're going to succeed. The lower the roll, especially natural ones, they tend to be quite fun and usually don't result in a good situation. And whilst these guys play their characters, everything else in this universe is played by me. So, NPCs, enemies, columns of dark energy, for example, despair, I'll be playing that too. And between me describing the world and story, the players describing what they want to do, and some dice rolls to keep things interesting, we will tell our tale. If I could invite everyone to introduce themselves, that would be fab. My name's Liz. I use she, her, they, them. And I think it would be interesting to find out what your favourite personal music style is. Ooh. So my playlists, or my sort of algorithmed playlists on any streaming client, are very confused. They go from pop, 90s divas to like Gregorian plain-song. It is weird. So if I could ask who's going to go first, I'm going to ask Chris if they could go first. Do tell us what your name is. Well, we know that already, but if you could also tell us your character's name, their pronouns, but also your favourite music too.
You don't want a description of the character for episode 1?
We will have a description when we come to your characters, if that's okay.
I am Chris, I use they, them pronouns, and I am playing Hunk, who uses they, them pronouns as well. Favourite music style? I mean, like you, Liz, it's very eclectic because Spotify looks at me and goes, what are you doing? This is not a thing. I'm trying to think of like a particular brand of music that I listen to all the time. It's often video game soundtracks. I use that when I'm working. I use video game soundtracks when I'm working. If I'm not editing, obviously, then I don't. I do quite a lot of sort of what's called not northern soul as in the classic like British northern soul music. It's sort of music from the Arctic Circle. I've got quite a lot of stuff like playlists of those I listen to quite a lot because it's all very sort of driving and
Wow.
Nothing to do with this character either. It's just
Most of the stuff I listen to is quite chill. I find if anything's a bit too like soundtracky where there's a dramatic thing going on, I get a bit like anxious while I'm working. So nice and chill is always good for me. But thank you, Chris. We will move on over to John. Please tell us about you. Please tell us about your character and your favourite music style.
Hello, I am John. I use he, him pronouns. I will be playing Heimlich, who also uses he, him pronouns. Oh, this is such a tough question, isn't it?
You're welcome.
At this point in life, we've maybe gathered a few, whereas if you asked me when I was 17, I'd be like, I like indie rock. At this point...
Hang on, John, are you saying you're not 17? Awkward.
Shut up, John.
Just 21, Chris. Just 21 again. Recently I've been listening a lot to the music of Stephen Sondheim because you just died. So that's been... I've definitely skewed my Spotify algorithm that way. I like an artist or band where it's one word and it's a royal kind of thing. So I like Queen, I like Prince. I think that's my main identifying.
Lord. Do you like Lord?
I like Lord.
Lord.
Yeah. Anything, that's it. I like Duchess. There's a band called Duchess out there.
Is there?
Majesty. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, John. We will move on over to Rebecca.
Hi, I am Rebecca. I use she, her pronouns. I am going to be playing Harmony, the very musically named Harmony. She also uses she, her pronouns. And again, as has been said, I have the music taste of 5 normal people put in a washing machine. On any given day, Spotify will have quite a lot of Dvorak and Tchaikovsky, and then also Taylor Swift and many things. I had to pick one, probably go with Billy Joel, because he plays piano really well.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Classics there.
So welcome.
And about playing piano really well, I guess we're going to move on over to Sam. Sam, do tell us things.
Hello, friends. I'm Sam. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Reggie Edgypeggio, who also uses he, him pronouns.
Does he do that every time he says his name?
Every time you say his name.
Every time. Amazing.
And my favorite genre of music, I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit of an individual. I'm a big fan of post-ironic superliminal laser funk.
That was a lot of words.
That was a lot of words. It's low volume, it's hyper funky, and it's just what gets me through the day.
That was beautiful. I will ask you to say that all again, the actual type of music that you like. Do tell us.
Post-ironic superliminal laser funk. More specifically, I just like funk, but there's one funky guy called Lewis Cole, who plays post-ironic superliminal versions of funk. So yeah, that's the plat du jour.
You do realise that post-ironic superliminal doesn't mean anything.
Yes, that's the irony of the whole thing.
Just making sure.
Thanks,
and on
Chris.
the theme of plat du jour, we will move on over to Ali. Do tell us your name, your pronouns, your character's name, their pronouns, and your favourite music style. Go.
Yeah, my name is Ali. I use he, him, and I will be playing the Sally, who also uses he, him pronouns. I like a lot of music, a lot of kind of music, especially pop, but I would say my favorite kind of music is anything that you can twerk to in dance floor.
If we're lucky, we may get an example of Ali twerking later.
In-game.
Yes. Not real life. No, I'm lying. This stream will run for 3 hours. Thank you, Ali, very much. And there will be a 5 to 10 minute break somewhere in the middle. We are delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge. With Hero Forge, you can create custom minis right in your web browser. Every sort of accessory, creature type, and costume is available to choose from. And they keep expanding their list of items and options, so keep on checking all of that out at heroforge.com. Speaking of new items, we have, I think, at least one person in this party who is toting a new item at this moment of time in the form. Can I spoil it, Sam?
Of course you can.
Do you want to spoil it?
Reggie Edgypeggio doesn't want to spoil anything, so you'll have to do it for him.
Well, you'll have to wait and see.
It's ghosted in Sam's mini right now, so if you've got a good eye, you might be able to see it. I'm just saying.
It rhymes with guitar.
Oh
no.
You're welcome.
Is it a puppy?
Yes, it is. That is exactly what it is. But also delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. They do lots of stuff from character folios to dice packs. They make all sorts of collectibles for sports as well, I believe, as well as other gaming accessories. Who has got a gaming accessory with them right now?
Which one do you want?
All of them.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Lift up the desk.
Do you want a mimic? I've got a mimic. Mimic.
Yes. Oh, look at it. Look at its pointy little face. I love it. This is a gazer.
Yours is still in the box.
Yes, I would keep them in the box. No, I will take it out at some point, maybe.
Just to be clear, Chad, wasn't even like a special like keep in the box gift. It was ages ago, and Liz still has it in the box.
It was August. Listen, you have to keep these things in the box.
I will never understand you.
Most of the time. So yes, we've seen a mimic. We have seen a gazer. If you are in Twitch chat right now, just say something preferably nice. We do like nice things to be said, and you will be entered into a random draw to win a gift voucher. Feel free to ask those mods for more info. You can find out about all of UltraPro stuff at ultrapro.com. We are also sponsored by Elderwood Academy, who are the premium purveyors of bespoke gaming-themed gear. Ask the mods for more info. No, that's my other line.
Well, you can.
Gaming.
They're very helpful people.
If you're on Twitch chat, you ask those mods for more info. But yes, they make dice boxes, deck box rolling trays disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes. This is mine. You may have seen it before. It's very pretty. I believe they allow you to do custom designs. Rebecca has one as well.
That's custom for Veracity, wasn't it? Yeah.
It has fire on it.
Yeah.
She's a subtle girl.
And they allow you to put your dice in there too.
I've got one of the dice towers. That's the Codex one.
Ooh.
Is that the one that you can put the dice on top and it rattles all the way down and it...
Yeah, it's a transport system because you can put everything inside it, but also it's a dice tower. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Custom made for me by our fans who are fucking awesome.
That's very awesome. If you are a fan, and if you've asked those mods for more info, you can currently get 10% off your Elderwood purchase with the code roll-together in caps at checkout. Ask those mods for more info if you did not understand what that said, but it's all caps roll-together at checkout at elderwoodacademy.com. Let's move on over to our supporters. We are also supported by D&D Beyond, who are awesome. We use them every time we play. You can see everyone's character sheet on the left-hand side on the overlay of the screen, I believe. Chris is pointing. We like it. D&D Beyond describes for you spells, which is so useful. If you ever played D&D without D&D Beyond, you would know as a spellcaster, getting all your spells together in one place is a nightmare. But D&D Beyond makes it really easy for you. They do your rolls for you. If you're on a web browser, you can right-click on some rolls and select advantage or disadvantage. It's super useful, so do check that out. We are also supported by Level Up Dice. There is a link for our Table Shakers range, and Chris is reaching for one as I speak. Thank you, Chris.
Hang on, I'll roll one. No, it got stuck.
That's how shaky it is.
Yeah, that's how they're big chonkers, big metal chonkers.
Chonky chonk chonk. We are also supported by two lovely D&D video games. Idle Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep. Both are very cool. I have both installed on my phone. Idle Champions is available, I think, on Switch now, but I have it on PC too. You should see some codes at the bottom of the screen that begin with exclamation marks. You can type these into Twitch chat for download links, or ask those mods for help. We like the mods. They do all the typing for us. For Idle Champions, there's a code you can directly enter into the game, or type !code into Twitch chat. For a gold chest,
Electrum these days.
Electrum chest, we're upgrading. This is good. Whereas for Warriors of Waterdeep, type wow gems into Twitch chat for a link and for free gems. We are Rolled Together RPG on all socials. There will be links in chat. Do like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can find a link in chat. Help us. You help our. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can find a link in chat. Help us make our shows from just £1 or $1 and unlock more tiers by joining. Our shows are also available as podcasts. Just search Roll Together RPG on your favourite podcasting app. Finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage and champion trans and GNC players and characters in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen, and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we miss an instance of misgendering, we are open to being corrected, so please do let us know if you think one has been missed. And now, I think we should go to the intro for this mysteriously bardically dark episode, the first episode of a Shadowfell Symphony. The Zolper Concert Hall of Waterdeep has always been a place where creative minds gather. Visionaries and contemporaries of the music scene often frequented its lavish rooms and took to the stage for breathtaking performances. That That was until what is now referred to as the Heimlich incident, a very unfortunate moment in Waterdeep's history wherein a young Heimlich's orchestral performance rendered the Zulper Concert Hall an abandoned and terrifying wreck. No one quite remembers what exactly happened that night, but the clerics were unable to remove the ever-encroaching shadows and condemned the building. I love that you're all laughing. It just makes me so happy.
It's such a good opener for Heimlich's character. What happened? Oh, I condemned a building. That's what
Until 3 days ago, the Zulper Concert Hall was dormant, holding nothing but the unending gloom and the ghost that wandered its corridors. But now the shadows have gathered to their peak. A huge column of shadow energy has erupted through the roof. A shockwave has rippled throughout the city, and since then, Waterdeep has been blanketed in a midnight sky. Feral swarms of bats flit through the streets. On the rooftops, new twisted sculptures of gnarled figures have appeared. Despair seems to exude from the source of this darkness. And if the rumours are anything to go by, the Shadowfell has come and is here to stay. We are going to begin on a morning. The clocks chime 9 in a minor key, but still the sky reads midnight. And beneath this starless sky, we will turn our attention to the brightest part of the city, in the Sea Ward, near Diamond Street. Around this area are various religious temples of high repute. The Tower of Luck, the House of Inspired Hands, the House of the Moon. But shining brightest is the House of Wonder. Hunk and Harmony. You have been around this area for the past 3 days, coming to the aid of struggling citizens who are suffering due to the recently named Zulper Cataclysm. At this moment, you are both deep within the House of Wonder, cathedral to the goddess Mystra. After a wasted meeting trying to convince the High Priest Sechel to allow sanctuary to all Waterdavians in need, you walk through Harmony's favourite part, the Chapel of Glory. The enchanted stained glass windows here create and refract light throughout the building, onto the empty vast space within, but also onto the hundreds of destitute people's faces outside. This cathedral is shaped like an 8-pointed star. 6 of these points each hold their own choir, and each choir sings simultaneously in its own register. As songs reverberate within the strange acoustics of this place, what should be beautiful forms a dissonant cacophony of notes. This music, for both of you, is visible. It's almost tangible. You see the magic here. The deeper tenor and bass move slowly and look sort of blue and burgundy in hue. The higher alto and soprano flit quickly between these, and they are yellow and green. They shine brighter. These 6 separate songs, the impossible hymn rises into the central dome, then expands to illuminate the beautiful stained glass windows of this beautiful cathedral. As you both walk through this music, can you tell us what you look like and how you've been getting on for the past 3 days? Chris, if you'd like to go first.
Sure. Hunk is a minotaur. Hunk is about 7.5 foot tall. Beautiful horns, but they're not sort of bull horns out to the side. They're more of a curled back affair. They are painted purple. Hunk has a lustrous, large, beautiful blonde head of rose gold hair, and a little sort of goatee tuft with it as well. And they're wearing quite short shorts and a tank with a big leather coat over the top that also functions as armor. Don't at me. As they're walking through this, they're probably their ukulele tends to be in their hands, but just idly sort of picking out a note or a chord and just sort of gently, if the music from that would join in with the colors, probably a certain amount of like adding that in. Nothing clever, nothing discordant or interesting musically. It's literally like adding to it. I reckon they've spent the last couple of days less frustrated with the situation and more just offering healing primarily, but also any kind of help that can be offered to anyone in this situation, where I imagine most of the driving force has been Harmony, and I've just gone, Harmony tends to know what's going on, and I tend to listen to what Harmony has to say.
Beautiful. Thank you for that description of your shorts. I love it.
You are very welcome.
So as Hunk begins to sort of pick away at the ukulele, it's like you're using the blend brush on Photoshop. All those notes that you're just fitting in with the higher registers, they sort of blend, the colours blend together, and it's beautiful. And as Hunk is doing that, Rebecca, could you tell us about Harmony?
Harmony is striding alongside Hunk, but given she's only about 5 foot, still only barely keeping up with them probably. Harmony is a lavender-skinned tiefling with a shock of purple curly hair, and her horns are actually purple and very tightly curled back against her head. She is dressed in perfectly polished plate mail, everything in its right place, neat and in order. And the only nod to musicianship that she gives is a set of tuning pipes hung around her neck. And every now and then she'll pause, distracted from the conversation she's having with Hunk, and just check a note from the choirs around and go, it's flat. Oh, the flat again. And then get back to her conversation. She is probably at this moment quite cross.
The High Priestess Shell has gone with his escort away from this building, and you do sort of, you're not prone to a lot of rage, but you're feeling it right now. But both of you continue walking through this music. And you see before you the big wooden imposing doors that lead to outside. Within them carved are images of Mystra, the pointed star. Musical notation as well is carved into the wood. And I guess Harmony would be best to do this, to throw open these doors in a. I mean, do you want to roll a strength check to see how dramatic it is?
Can I
go
help?
on then.
Again, help.
Oh,
help.
yes.
Is it just sort of do a little lean if there's an issue, because I'm massive and don't even think about it?
Though if we're checking for drama, is it not a performance check?
Sure, why not? For the purpose of this. You have performing rage, yes.
Well, that would therefore be 26.
Oh, do you want to tell me how performative this door opening is?
I know she's a bard, but it's not that flourishy. It is more everything Harmony does has a natural fluidity to it. So she is still deep in conversation, and quite a fuming conversation with Hunk, and will just, with one sweeping gesture, open the doors. But it's so flowing and graceful in its movement that it seems almost a performance in itself.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. They throw open with such force, but then they kind of, you know those drawers you get in a kitchen where you push them and they gradually sort of come to a shut? That happens with the doors on the outside. They don't slam against the side. They just gradually open. But as you do this, both of you get out of the cathedral, looking outside onto the dark square. You see hundreds of faces looking up at you. Now, in this time of crisis, a lot of the Waterdavians have turned to religion. There are scores of people here sort of clutching candles and in a sort of silent and solemn prayer. As you step down the grand, white, glittering marble stairs, is there anything you would both like to do or talk about your conversation?
Well, you're angry, Rebecca. Go for it.
Liz, did you say the High Priest has toddled off somewhere?
Oh, yes. You had this conversation with the High Priest and his consort, and then he's left the building a couple of moments ago, out the back, leaving only the small sort of scribes or the I want to say vestry, that's not the right word. The clerks of the clergy. It began with a C, the clergy, leaving only them within.
Every time I come back, I tell myself that maybe this time they will have learned that there is more to life than making pretty colours and pretty music in the air, and that actually they will have opened their eyes and looked around them and have done something. And every time, Sorry, I always end up yelling at you, and it's never your fault. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just sort of yelling in your general vicinity. I'm sorry.
I don't mind. I'm very happy to be a sounding board. You know, with these people, the nicest thing you can do is just give them the benefit of the doubt, which is exactly what you did. So we gotta just keep hoping people can change, you know? And maybe then they will.
Hunk?
Yeah.
You know how they all just sort of left?
Yeah.
And I think I'm officially the strongest Mistra warrior around at the moment.
Okay.
That does just sort of make me in charge right now, right?
If that's what you think it does, then absolutely it does.
What would you like to do, Harmony?
You got any orders?
There we have a lot of supplies in the cellars of the cathedral, don't we? And just warmth and sanctuary.
Yeah, there's
a
plenty
lot of empty pews. A lot of empty pews.
Yeah, and it's warm and safe, feels safe. Hunk, can you help me attract everyone's attention?
Well, one sec, Harmony. This is exactly what the High Priest didn't want to do, right? I'm just checking.
Yes.
Cool, then I'm all in
But
favor.
then they left, which I think means they delegated authority.
Yeah. I mean, I have to assume so. I don't know what delegate means. I'm going to start playing. Again, it's not. It's gentle. I think it's not trying to attract attention in a kind of loud fanfare way. More of a trying to gently wash over the entire crowd a sense of something's happening over there. Would you like a performance check?
Go on. Let's see how performative we are.
That is a 16.
16. Yeah. It's quite easy for a kind of withdrawn performance to echo quite loudly, especially in these sort of dark streets and the square in which you stand. You see a lot of faces begin to look up. There's quite a few families here. There's a lionin with 4 little cubs. She's kind of wrestling them around, and the cubs are the first to notice and kind of pull at her ears as they're watching this performance happen. There's an elderly elf couple. And for elves, it must be quite old. They must be getting on for a while. But they look up and sort of start to tap their feet along to the music as well.
Sort of a rising, a rising, I think it's called a chord scale, an up, down, back and forth, do like that, but quite slow and quite gentle, just filling out the space. Just draw a bit of focus towards Harmony, who already draws quite a lot of focus. So
there are definitely faces looking at you. Definitely.
I would like to draw more focus with the background of Hunk's rippling arpeggios. Will cast thaumaturgy 3 times so I can do the 3 effects, and I will make my voice boomy. Not scary boomy, just loud.
It's cute boomy, like it.
Make my eyes send that kind of refracting, again, kind of rippling pattern of colour that anyone who's been in the cathedral would recognise as sort of a Mistra visual, and then cause the huge cathedral doors behind me to fly open in a welcoming way. And if I feel I have the crowd's attention?
Definitely, yes. Especially the sort of line-in mum with her 4 cubs. She's kind of eager to move on from this moment, and she looks to you, Harmony, and holding one's hand and holding the other 3 in one arm, she kind of, is it open? Can we go in?
I think Harmony was planning on making a grand speech, but then seeing just a person in need of help, just replies to her and amplifies it so everyone else can go. The cathedral is open to you all. You are all welcome. We cannot promise it is safe, but you are welcome to seek whatever sanctuary, whatever warmth, whatever comfort you are inside. We're all fallible mortals, but Mistra is good and loving, and she wants you all to feel at home here. Come on in.
And there is, I won't say a stampede, it's not a stampede, it's a suppressed stampede, I suppose, of people rushing through the door. But as they pass both of you, they sort of, obviously with your permission, they sort of begin to sort of take your hands and thank you both for allowing this to happen as they make their way.
Harmony is probably deeply embarrassed by that and is very much of it. It is not me, Mistra. She's hers. I'm just, yeah.
I will kneel low arms wide and do the kind of yay hugs and head ruffles and all the things to make sure everyone feels, especially kids, feel welcome and at home, and guiding them on. Anyone injured?
You don't. Well, there's a couple of people with nicks and scratches. There weren't massive injuries during this time, but there were definite sort of nicks. You do ruffle the hair of a little old lady. She appreciates it. But no one injured too badly anyway.
If anyone's got any sort of items or possessions that are damaged or broken, I will hold them for a second, cast Mending on it. It's sort of a gentle, warm glow over the object, which then slowly reknits, reforms, rebuilds itself.
Beautiful. The little old lady whose hair you ruffled, she had just over her shoulder a little satchel, but the strap was burnt in places and broken, and you begin to piece that together for her as she enters the cathedral. So as these people are all filing in, thanking you, and you're interacting with them, both of you facing the opposite way to the east, you see at this moment around the column of darkness, which is pretty much visible to anybody in the city, no matter where they are. Around this column of darkness, a purple flash lights up the sky like lightning for an instant, illuminating the rooftops, and the head of the god statue, the god catcher statue, which lies between you and the Zolper concert hall. Suddenly and separately, within your own minds, also somehow coming from the Zolper concert hall, you hear yourselves performing a tune that you do not know and have never heard before. The people filing past you do not seem to react. But Hunk, yours seems like a ukulele version of an orchestral score. There's even a sick little ukulele riff at one point. Harmony. You hear your own voice singing, not just solo, but in all the registers. Soprano, alto, tenor, and impossibly bass. No offense, but it's probably not within your range.
Okay.
The high soprano, pure in tone, cuts through the darkness, sending shivers down your spine as the alto drifts and meshes with all the other parts. Unlike the dissonance within the cathedral, these notes are in perfect harmony. No one else seems to react. What would you like to do?
I look at Harmony because I heard something odd.
It's still playing.
Huh. I'm going to nod my head in time to it gently to see if Harmony's getting the same thing.
Music.
Yeah, really good music.
I wish I could actually sing like that.
You're really, really good.
You are lovely. We should maybe run towards the spooky music.
Yeah, if you want to go investigate, I'm happy to tag along. Think everyone here is going to be okay?
Give me 1 second, and Harmony will just find the nearest member of the cathedral.
And just say the words, your problem, and walk away.
There is a scribe. There is Meredith the scribe who you approach. She's a good friend. She always gets your name wrong. Melody, how are you?
Hello, Meredith.
Hello, Melody.
These people are here under Mistress protection. If anyone comes back and decides to throw a wobbly about it, you'll keep them safe, won't you?
I will let them know that Melody advised it, and I will keep them safe. Yes, absolutely.
Why don't you tell them that Melody advised it?
I will. She writes it down as your. It's like she's writing a script. So she's written your name wrong, but then exactly what you've said, and then her name and what she replies to you in turn.
And if they kick up a fuss, just point them to Jonathan chapter 2, where that whole thing about looking after the widow and the orphan and the people in need and not just protecting our buildings and our valuables, and just remind them of that bit of scripture if they're going to be a bit of a pain.
It's my favourite bit. Yes, Melody, I will do that for you, yes.
Thank you, Meredith.
Thank you, Melody. Thank you.
Mistress like you with you.
Yeah.
Harmony, your name's not Melody, it's Harmony.
I know, but I've corrected her so many times that now it just feels rude, and I don't really mind.
Oh, okay. I just thought Melody might be a nickname or something.
No, I like Harmony a lot better. Melody sounds like a diva.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, she is.
A little bit.
And with that, you begin to make your way to the source of this noise. And I will leave you there for just a moment. Tiseli,
Yes.
you are in a tavern on Saul Street. This tavern goes by 2 names. During the day, it is called the Fancy Furbolg. But at night, when the sun goes down, the sign magically transforms to read the Leather Bear, attracting a completely different clientele.
I can imagine.
What makes you say that, Ali?
It's a very fancy furball.
Since day became unending night, the clientele seems very blended. People from all walks of life are in one place and they are having a great time. You come down the stairs from your room, softly pushing through the crowd who are wearing powdered wigs, long frock coats and gorgeous dresses. But they are mixed with others who are clad in leather vests and not much else. Can you tell us what Tiseli looks like and what he's been up to for the past few days?
Yeah, so you see a rather skinny blue-skinned tiefling with amazing horns that are more like crystal-like than made of bone. He's semi-naked, so he just has like trousers and a nice sort of cape. He has like a pauldron. And you can see that behind him, there is like 3 or 4 feet tall construct. It looks like an egg. It's like a black egg with 3 pairs of legs. And the egg is all black with some obsidians all around it, but it also has some sort of details in gold and silver. Tiseli is naturally a dancer, so rather than trying to avoid people, it's more like moving fluidly through the people and sometimes giving a turn to one of them. And yeah, that's Tiseli.
Beautiful. As you grind up on these people in the bar, the barkeep, known very well to you, is Billy Brackenbeard, a hefty dwarf with a hefty beard. With a beautiful smile, he waves to you, offering you some breakfast wine. Business is going very well. A fine day, Tiseli, a fine day. Brackenbeard is wearing his leather chest harness and seems very glad that he's not had to get changed. Why haven't you got your chest harness on today, Tiseli?
It's a little bit too early, and I think I lost it. I mean, last night was a rough night, but well, Tiseli's having breakfast live. So, could you say you like it more now than before? Like
the bar, yes. It's nice to not have to get changed, and it's nice to have money coming in all the time. And it's nice to see people enjoying themselves, and I'm doing very well as a result of all of, well, whatever it was that happened. So yes, Tiseli, I'm enjoying it.
Thank you. Talking about business, so I've been here for a while, but I'm not settled yet. So I've been wondering if the business is going so well, maybe you need like a continuous or like a permanent performer. So if you do, I'm open.
Do you want to roll a persuasion check for me, please, Tiseli?
Persuasion. That is 23.
23. Yeah, he's raring for this to happen. And as he's talking to you about potential songs that you might want to perform, he's also serving some other people at the same time and interacting with you both. In your pocket, though, during this conversation, you feel the small butterfly engraved stone get cold.
So Tiseli tries to keep the conversation going and just discreetly try to put the hand in. And I'm really sorry. Just gotta hit the toilets. I'll be right back.
I look forward to it, Tiseli, and you make your way to the lavatories within
And
this
I
fine
would
establishment.
rather go outside. Yeah. Just try to blend the crowd and go outside.
Okay, cool. As you're doing that, you kind of pull the stone from your pocket, just sort of beginning to look at the what is written on it. It's cold in your palm, smooth to the touch, and there's green glittery writing appearing on it. And it says this message as you begin to just open the door. It reads, "Longing lingers in the most exquisite places. Find where the darkness is greatest." Just then, as the shining emerald message begins to fade away from the stone as you begin to open that door, the jovial atmosphere within this bar is suddenly shattered with a loud crashing noise as to your right-hand side, a stone, a big rock really, crashes through the window. The window splinters into thousands of pieces and just comes to a gradual stop on the floor. Through the hole that was made by the rock and through the slightly open door, you hear in the distance, growing further and further away, the sounds of whoops and jeers and kind of drunken laughter.
Was it like a rock or a boulder?
It wasn't quite a boulder, it was a fist-sized rock, if you want to go for size. It was the size of a fist.
So I will rush out and try to see if I can catch anything.
Nice. You rush out of the door. Make a perception check for me, please.
Yes. Can I also roll for my steel defender? Because he's a perceptive one.
Okay, sure. Why not?
So I got a 12 and Swifty got a 25.
Is that Swifty?
Yes.
Nice. So you're 12. You see what's immediately before you. Swifty probably catches more, but I don't think can communicate that to you in words.
Yeah. No.
Swifty would pick up the sound of footfall running away from this place, but what you see immediately before you, doubled over out of breath, is a city guard. They sort of grimace. They seem defeated and sort of lean their back against the tavern wall. Sorry.
Go.
I can't do this anymore. We've been trying to keep the peace non-stop and they just keep wrecking the place.
Yeah, it's you have to understand people, like sometimes dark times, literally, brings the worst of people. But I mean, you have to know that the people appreciate all your effort. I will get close. I don't want to use any spell, but I will just try to comb the hair back. Yes, you will be fine.
I can't do this anymore, mate. I can't do it. Do you want to roll I don't know, what sort of check would this be for today? Roll for hair. Roll for, I guess, persuasion. Persuasion.
17.
17. He kind of sighs and feels his hair that you've just pushed back off his face, and I like what you've done, mate. It's nice. Kind of begins to go, all right, yeah, I think I can do this. Not them though, they've gone.
I will try to help them to stand up, and I will also just look at Swifty and just sort of move my head like, go for it, while I just help the guard.
Cool. So when you say go for it for Swifty, do you mean to help the guard get up?
No, for Swifty to sort of follow what it found or correct.
Got you, okay. Swifty kind of, this egg sort of turns to you, kind of cocks its head, I guess, if it could, and begins to slowly scuttle off. As that happens to Sally, you do notice a flash of purple overhead. Then, at the same time as the gentle rattling of Swifty's feet, you hear a familiar rattling through the darkness, the sound of a tambourine enticing you. You hear the rhythm, the emphasized beats. You recognize the playstyle as your own. It's like you're playing this tambourine. It takes you a moment to recognize the beats without the rest of the music, but you've heard this rhythm before. It's coming from the last place it was ever performed, the Zolper Concert Hall.
I guess the Selig is gonna shout, halt, and then Swifty just stops. And they both will look at the concert hall a little bit surprised, but it's also a sense of familiarity, like so because they haven't been in the city for a while, they don't feel so settled yet. So it's more like maybe this is my calling, literally, right? So Swifty will get back to me, and I look down and I say, I think destiny is calling. And then we are.
You go to find destiny wherever she may be.
Yes.
She good friends with Melody and Harmony. Just joking.
Sally will look
children
at
coming.
So, anyways, the Sally looks at the stone, sort of smiles like, and put it back into the bucket, and walks towards the concert hall.
The music does get louder. Well, the rhythm gets louder as you do. The guard, kind of emboldened by the conversation he had with you, kind of steals himself, then goes into the bar that you were in for a quick drink before he goes back to his rounds.
So I guess instead of walking, Tassel is just dancing through the dancer hall.
Want to roll a performance check for me to see how well you dance through the dark streets?
18.
18. Hey, it's good enough. It's dark. No one's really watching. You can dance however you like. As you do that, we will move on over to Heimlich and Reggie. Heimlich and Reggie, you are both sitting around the kitchen table in Heimlich's house. It's the fancy one on Wynn Street near the market. Your notes and musical annotations are strewn across the floor. You wave farewell to Heimlich's housemates. They're leaving the house to aid the people of Waterdeep. Via, the Loxodon barbarian is last to leave and motions to you, Heimlich, with her trunk. Heimlich, remember to lock the front door if you go anywhere. We don't want any more of those rats. Okay, bye. And she slams the door with her trunk.
Amazing.
And with that, you are left in an awkward silence, interrupted occasionally by the strained chords of Helga, the animated skeleton upstairs in your bedroom, Heimlich. She's been a bit more active in the recent days since the Zolper cataclysm. As you sit at the table, what do you both look like? And how has it been for you both over the past few days? John, if you would like to go first.
Gladly. So Heimlich is a human. Of kind of middling height, very slight build, don't look very strong. He looks like someone who doesn't sleep or eat enough, and particularly so because he's barely eaten and not really slept over the past 3 days since this shadowy cataclysm has begun. He's got very Beethoven-esque, big, wild, dark hair with lots of streaks of grey in it. His eyes are a very light grey, and he's got tiny little pinprick pupils, so his eyes just look very pale. He's wearing an evening dress, which is kitted out with scraps of leather armor on it, because it's nice to look good. It's also nice to not die. And his cuffs and his collar and any white bits of clothing are covered in little musical notations, which he's perpetually sketching. That's what he's been doing for the past 3 days. Since the shadows have entered the realm, his mind and his consciousness have been opened, and he's just writing a lot of music on anything he can find. Also, what has changed since the Hall of the Undermountain King, his shadow occasionally, if it can be seen behind his shoulder, is whispering in his ear.
Interesting.
Does it have googly eyes on it?
What a preposterous thing to say, Rebecca. Why on earth would you even say something?
Who would dream of such a thing?
I know, right? What a crazy person. Anyway. Thank you, John. And if that is everything for you and your I said statue with googly eyes. No, your shadow with googly eyes. Sam, could you tell us who you are, what you look like, and how it's been for you over the past couple of days?
So, sat across the table from Heimlich, leaning backwards in a chair far too small for him, at about 7'2", is a very well-built Firbolg. But despite his size and seemingly visible wisdom, he looks incredibly young. His skin is perfectly matte, with no wrinkles in sight. Adorning that skin is a delightfully slightly curled mustache, a bit of stubble, and within his eye sockets, his eyes are black. There is no discernible difference between the pupils and the area around them. Otherwise, he's wearing a fine velvet suit jacket with a blood red cravat. Underneath that jacket is a satin waistcoat, a well-pressed shirt, and then on his legs, which are under the table, it's just these white pressed chino trousers and some rather well-polished brown leather shoes.
Beautiful, beautiful. And how has it been for the pair of you, really, I guess, over the past couple of days? What have you been up to?
Playing a lot of music.
In doubt, play music. I like it.
We have been coming up with, we're just trying to explore the edges of this new incursion through music. So like writing some notation, some ideas for a song, and then Reggie, I believe, has been playing it, riffing it, improvising around it, and we're trying to crack this thing. We're in a bit of a research exploration mode.
Nice.
So consequently, the table is covered in notation. The wallpaper is just using minor illusion to like maybe this try this.
As Reggie pulls out a guitar and begins to noodle, delicately fingering the keys.
Is that a keytar, Reggie?
Sorry, is it a what?
A keytar.
Yes.
I love it. Yes, okay.
Reggie, do you think he's working this? Maybe a minor key, do you think?
He plays the minor fifth of the chord, and there's just something dissonant about it. He leans back, picks up. There's just something not quite right about it.
Yeah.
So between you, the research and the notes and the fifth of chords that you have been able to put together are substantial, but none of them really indicate how to put a stop to what is going on right now. There are notes and I guess sonatas on the planes and tears in fabric between them, but nothing really as to how to stop it. And as you both are doing that, if anyone has put two musicians together in a room and just let them talk, they would know that the madness that ensues is just glorious. And while you've been doing the two musicians in a room thing, the room is immediately illuminated by a flash of purple. Now, all of the windows in this place were shattered, if I'm sure Heimlich would remember, by the shockwave that rippled through the city. But you see this light quite clear here, and it happens again. And looking out of the shattered windows, you see its origin, which is the Zolper Concert Hall, that huge column of smoke rising from it. And gradually, Heimlich, you hear the music you played that fateful night coming from the direction of the Zolper Concert Hall. Reggie, it takes you some time to remember what it is that you hear. You've only really seen these notes written down. You've not really heard them played. It is a second fiddle part of the orchestral score. What would you like to do?
I have not heard this music in so long. I will just sit, and I've not been able to remember it because we don't remember a lot about that fateful night. I'm just going to enjoy it and just sit in it. This memory I've been trying so hard to find, and now it's here. So just going to be very head cocked to one side, listening.
As Heimlich sat there, Reggie immediately shunts the guitar off into an extra-dimensional space and just looks slightly aggravated.
What does that look like with your face, Sam?
With my face? With my face?
Yes.
Scowling quite intently in the direction of Heimlich. Did you reorchestrate?
Well, when you were not available for the concert, I had to come up with a solution, and that is clever.
I don't think there was any element of availability. And Reggie will stand up and walk over towards the window.
Reggie, your new instrument. Do you think it could be? Maybe I could write and incorporate it. It is so fascinating. Yeah.
I'll a persuasion check from behind Vic.
28.
I would say that would be persuasive enough for you, Reggie.
Reggie reached out a hand towards his left in the direction of Reggie and pulls back the guitar from this wherever it's gone and throws it in the direction of Heimlich without looking at him, still looking out towards the concert hall.
Make a dexterity saving throw from behind Heimlich. See if you catch it.
Also good, 24.
Okay, you are able to catch the guitar in your hand as it's thrown to you without much warning.
Has Reggie ever let me touch the guitar before?
No.
Reggie, this is I went in my mind. This is an amazing instrument. I have not seen anything like it before. But it is your instrument. Yeah, I don't want to, because I feel like touching another bard's instrument is like.
Go on.
That's intimate.
The phrasing was already off the chart, but go on.
Yeah.
Consent.
Yes.
Are you sure? You don't mind me?
Do with it as you please. You always do.
I love you guys. Carry on. And scene. No, carry on.
Keep digging.
I will just start to just to figure out a little bit about this guitar and how it works and how we can incorporate that into his symphony.
Roll a I'm going to say performance check just to see if we can align those notes. Both of you, that music is continuous. It does not stop, and it is getting slightly louder.
No, I rolled a natural 2 for an 11, but the guitar does not like me.
The guitar does not like you. Reggie, do you want to tell us how your guitar reacts to being played so poorly?
As the spindly fingers of Heimlich find themselves on the keys, delicately caressing them, the sound which comes out is discordant, but most notably, the remaining color in Heimlich's fingers begins to fade as each note is played.
Nice.
Reggie, I like to think I'm a man who can say when I am out of my depth, which I think I am here. Please do. I think the composition of this part is very much down to you.
Mm-hmm. And Reggie just snaps a finger as this guitar disappears from your lap.
For the bar.
So this is not the usual music I am hearing in my head.
What's changed?
It's normally there are lots of different voices all arguing. Oh no, play this note, this. Come on, no, that is terrible. What you're thinking? This is clear for once. It is nice, but why?
This may sound like a strange question, but having not been in the city for that long, is this music always playing, or?
This is something new. It was the Flash. It has been these days of darkness. It has been nice to reconnect with you, Reggie, since you have been away so long.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that there is something afoot, and maybe we have written enough music. It is time to go play something.
You may be right. And Reggie reaches into a top coat pocket, removes his reading spectacles, and places on his Reggie edgy shades.
Oh gosh. This is beautiful. I love it. And with the Reggie edgy shades, did I say that right? I like to think I did.
Something like that, yeah.
Sure.
They don't mind.
As you do that, I guess would be less so for you, Reggie, with those shades on. But again, the sky kind of thunders and ripples with that purple energy. Reggie, it's sort of dull purple for you with the shades on, but it's fine. Heimlich, you see it in its full rippling glory.
And it clearly came from the concert hall.
Absolutely. From where you are, you can hear the column of darkness as well, and it seems louder. We never got the chance to play at the concert hall together. I know it was my fault, but perhaps we can make up for it now.
Perhaps. And a slight grin pulls across his face as he begins to walk out the door.
I will follow.
As Reggie and Heimlich, as you leave, Heimlich, you see something that Varya's begun to do, which is get her axe and just jam it into the door whenever she leaves. And she's lent that against the side of the door as you leave your beautiful mansion.
I will lock the door.
Okay. Could you roll a strength check for locking the door with the axe that Varya has left you? There's also a little message from Ember just written in sort of golden writing by the door. It's tiny, tiny, weeny writing. And it reads, "Love you, Heimlich. Take care of yourself. You'll do really well. We'll be thinking of you. Okay, bye."
Oh, she's my favorite housemate.
Wow. Burn on the ones who aren't here.
That was a 14 to close the door.
14, possibly not up to Varya's standards, but you're able to just jam it somewhere within the door. You do wreck the door slightly. It's fine. But you begin to make your way to the Zolpar concert hall. And all of you now, in your individual selves or groups, all of you led by this music, almost compelling you. The journey so far for each of you really has been worrying. The music in your minds has crescendoed as you've crossed the city. The air's grown colder. You've heard the sound of crying citizens echoing through the streets. In addition to the music in your mind, you hear the increasing sound of the column itself, the column of dark energy roaring through the sky. You see the destruction that has occurred closest to the epicenter. In your individual journeys, making this trip, is there anything that you would like to do or talk about on the way?
Heimlich, one question. When this all happened, did anybody die?
Make a history check, Heimlich.
Oh. Where's H? There we go. 12.
12. You don't know exactly what happened. You do know that there was some front of house staff that were injured. You're not sure exactly what happened to them. But in the city itself, from what you gather, everybody was fine.
No, Reggie. You mean the original concept?
Yeah, I do.
I remember looking at my notes. Had the gift from my parents who could not make it, of course, as always. And then I walked on the stage, put my sheet music down, began prepared to conduct, and then I don't remember anything. I know there was some crushing as people ran from the concert hall. A lot of broken instruments, which is very sad. No, I don't think anyone died. It was a strange night.
Okay, so there's nothing intrinsic in the music you wrote that is innately dangerous.
No, it was my first great composition to be played in the public, and I can't remember. But hearing it now, it was not. I do not think it was the same music that was played as what I wrote. Having heard it, and still hearing it now, it changed. Something changed that night.
And the rest of you, is there anything else that you would like to be doing or talking about?
So the Celly's been a while in the Feywild, but then sort of all the planes are connected, right? So I just want to recall because Celly wasn't here for the incident, so maybe there was some sort of resonance into the Feywild, but maybe not. So just want to recall if there is anything that I could recall.
I would say roll a history check, perhaps at disadvantage due to the nature of the Feywild and the cross between the planes.
Disadvantage roll. 6.
You know what? You're not sure. Although this beat it's killer, it's great, you love it. Yeah, dancing your way through the streets.
In a sort of Saturday night fever style.
You disco your way through the dark streets. Yeah.
When you say we hear people crying,
I was about to ask exactly the same thing. The nice people.
Are there visibly people crying, or is it just the sound of people crying?
Let's have a perception check with advantage because the pair of you are hearing this and are trying to work this out. So one of you roll with advantage.
You are the cleric. You should roll it.
Nice. I like how we put that.
Ooh, 22.
22. There's definitely a sensation of the closer you get to it, the more sad people become. Despair is a bit of a theme, and it seems to get worse as you go on. You don't see anyone crying. There's no one sort of crying at you. It's more, you can just hear sadness as you travel.
Harmony, this is, people are getting sadder.
Yeah.
I don't like that very much.
No, that's fair, Hunk. It's not very nice. Do we need to go and find the people? I kind of want to go and find the people and stop them being sad.
Do you think the music's making them sad? Because it sounds good to me, but everyone's individual with their own tastes and likes. I know that.
I don't know if it's the music making them sad or if the music is made up of people's sadness.
Make an intelligence check for me, please, Harmony.
Oh, good.
Yes, come on.
Both of us are so smart.
Yeah.
It's not the one I dumped. That's a 19 on the die, so that's a 19.
Nice. That maths was glorious.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the people were not sad here before. You know, they seem to have got sadder over time. The past 3 days, you've been in quite a few of these houses as well. You've been there to console people. Some of them are sad because their houses were destroyed. Some of them are just sad because they're sad. It's not something that they want to be. They're being affected by something.
Can I try and play the counter melody?
Sure.
It's not counterspell or anything like that. It's not an in-game ability. It's literally just me going, can I play my instrument at it to make it
Of
stop?
course you can. Sure, of course you can. Performance, please.
Can I add in a counter harmony to help?
Counter harmony, of course you can. Harmony. Counter.
Why, thank you. You
Harmony.
see what I did there?
Yes.
29.
That's a nice number.
Did you roll with advantage, or am I also rolling?
I thought you were also rolling, sorry. But if that's 29 with advantage, we will take the 29 with advantage. As Hunk is a
25
god.
No, just play the ukulele.
Just with my ukulele, I like it. You do this counter tune, but it jars. It's very difficult because of the way it is coming to you from a source elsewhere. The notes drift as they get to you, and it's really hard to pick out any notes. You do play a nice tune, but it just doesn't mesh with it. It doesn't seem to cancel it out. It doesn't sound nice.
Do the people around me start to cheer up?
I will roll and find out. Let's see. There's a bit of whimpering that has deceased in one of the doorways.
Yes,
you see-
Deceased.
I love my turn of phrase. No, the door does open, and you see Olga. She's getting on in her years, and this little old dwarf opens the door. Her grey hair, and she's got a little pinny on, and there's a tear that she wipes away from her cheek. She just waves to you and says, "Thank you."
Oh dear.
I give her a gentle nod and a little wink, and
Throws you an apple that she's storing in her apron.
interesting. How do I catch it while playing the ukulele?
Dexterity saving throw, please.
I mean, with disadvantage, I'm playing the ukulele.
You impose that on yourself.
I
Absolutely.
absolutely
Let's
do.
do it.
That is a thing.
In the
Yes.
ukulele?
That's what I realized.
Slicing the apple.
Yeah, that's a 3.
Take that,
I think it's
Olga.
a.
Oh,
Thank you.
no.
Wink. Dunk. Ow.
Yes. It falls on the strings of the ukulele with a sort of dissonant whong. But then you pick it up and pocket it anyway, and she waves you off.
I think what I'll do is I'll pick it up, put it in my mouth, and then keep playing, and then realize that might be an issue. So I'm just holding an apple in my mouth.
Nice.
I was not emotionally prepared for how many musical instruments were going to get thrown or damaged. It's a problem.
I love it. But yes, through the darkness, one by one, you find yourselves in a reunion of sorts. You are now face to face with each other. You are a block away from the concert hall on Delzorin Street, a few houses north of the Godcatcher statue. The actual concert hall itself is probably, I guess, 300 foot away from you at this point. But yes, you see each other.
All 5 of us at the same time.
All 5 of you at the same time. You arrive at this place at the same time. Funny that.
Jess, is that
No
you?
way. Is that you, Hunk?
Oh, hey. And I'll just put the instrument down and go over and massive hug.
Aw.
Oh, buddy, it's been. You have not aged at all. That is very impressive. That is wow. That is whatever you're doing, you keep doing it.
I mean, but you also look great. Where have you been? Like, what? I mean, last time you were like going on an adventure, and now
That was years ago.
there is a little bit of hesitation. Like, yeah, yes. Well, I'm glad to see that you are okay.
Inside check.
Uh,
Are you being deceitful, Ali? Are you...
No, the Sally cannot poker face.
Okay.
You.
So-
We'll
So are you-
talk about it later, but it's so good to see you, and it's a warm, genuine hug, and like a friend not seen for 10 years, like very much, like, yeah.
And then Teseli looks at Harmony and it's like, no, it can't be an armor. Like, weren't you like part of the core?
Sally! Does Alkis know you're back?
Are you okay?
Does Alkis know you're back?
Who?
Heimlich, I should have known.
Oh,
If that
Harmony,
was
so good to
shadowy
see you.
Shadowy despair, you had to be around here somewhere.
I know
What
it's
are you doing?
on brand, right? And you in plate armor. This is impressive.
I took a little bit of a tangent in the whole musical career thing. It's been fun. I hear people now.
So you're the percussionist, you could say.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a really good job of sort of bringing bad guys to order in syncopated rhythm.
Sally, could you just roll I'm going to go insight check for me, just based on the conversation, which Sally is confused by.
Very. That's an 8.
8. Sally, harmony seems a bit off with you. You're not sure why.
Sorry, I don't think we've met. So the point, look, going over to Reggie, again, going for a very sort of open handshake. Hi, I'm Hunkerette Honahoof. Most people call me Hunk. What's your name?
As Reggie walks over towards Hunk, just to mouths at Heimlich, are we meant to know these people? And reached out a paw. Reginald Peggio.
You're
Charmed,
Reginald
I'm
Peggio.
sure. The one and only.
Heimlich, I thought you hated this guy.
No, this is the harmony. We had it was Hunk. It must have been after you left college when you went on your.
Reggie, yeah.
Yes, we had a friendly, I think, rivalry at one of the bard colleges we attended. I'm sure it is water under the bridge now.
I don't always have the best sense of humor. I would definitely have not. Sorry, got the whole friendly rivalry thing. Reggie, it's really lovely to meet a friend of Heimlich's.
It is lovely to meet you too.
Sorry, Harmony.
Harmony. I thought someone said Melody. Don't mind me.
What have I done?
How did
I will whisper to Harmony like, "How you see what
Let's do a sleight of hand or stealth check there, Heimlich, against a passive perception for Reggie.
passive perception is 14.
8.
I learned on my travels that music is less about edifying an individual, as he shoots a glance in the direction of Heimlich, and more about providing an emotional growth opportunity for an audience.
I just like singing.
I'm sure you do. And he tries to reach out to pat you on the head.
You resist.
Just drifts. She has the sweetest smile on her face as her hand just drifts to the really impressive looking rapier at her side.
Not to make an intimidation check, please, Helen.
Yes,
I appreciate no PvP, but I want to see what happens.
I'm probably not going to say I have expertise in intimidation. That's a natural 20.
Oh no.
That is 33 in intimidation.
Wow.
Reggie, you back off, babes.
Seeing things are getting slightly awkward. So are we all hearing this music? And we're all here, all walking the same way. Putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, big purple flash of light in ring a bell.
Lots of crying.
Yeah.
What? Do any of us have any idea why?
Stanley looks at Heimlich.
Did you do it again?
No, this was not. I mean, initially, years ago. But I was in another realm underneath the yawning portal, and then I came back, and then this happened. So I do not know. This is aligned to me, but not caused by. I was just getting home, taking off my armor, and saying hello to Helga.
Are you sure? Because I know we had that little hiccup at the cathedral, and if it had been an accident again, no one would be cross with you.
Oh,
No, this is why
that was you.
This is why I do not perform music anymore. I cannot, because it always goes weird. There was this at the cathedral harmony. I composed a beautiful requiem
It
mass.
was beautiful.
Yeah,
It just maybe was the corpse thought so as well.
yeah. And they started dancing, beautiful dancing. Sally would have appreciated.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
That was you as well.
Yeah, that was me. And then there was the time I was doing some chamber music for a series of wind instruments, and blood started coming out of all the instruments. That was also awkward.
That
and
was
then,
you. I saw the headlines and I wondered, but...
Yeah, there was the nocturnes where people would fall into eternal sleep. That was problematic.
Have you considered, Hamlet, that maybe composing music may not be for you?
This is why I am now adventuring. The family business. But I would very much like to. I write, and you see all the bits of paper and the notations all over him. I just don't perform it anymore. But maybe this is my time for one last piece.
No.
To do with this.
I think if it's happening right now and it's having this effect, sure, if you think it'll stop it, that'd be great.
I have it's a lovely idea, Hunk, but Heimlich, what's your running total of times you've written music and it's made things worse versus times you perform music and it's made things better?
That is interesting, yeah. So before the night at the Zulpia Concert Hall, I was obviously the most highly marked student in our year at Bard College. And the 2 colleges before that, I wrote many pieces very successful. Since the night at the Zulpia Concert Hall, all of them have caused some kind of problem. So I think this place and me, we have some business here.
Should we? There's still it's quite hard to concentrate with all the wailing.
Yeah.
Like that's a baby crying. Can we maybe?
Oh, dang. I'm going to go back to playing the counter melody. It's obviously not working, and you all go, that sounds awful. But some people appear to be calming down a bit, as described.
The wobbly chin of the baby stops wobbling and it stops crying. But yes, this music in all of your heads has got louder. The Zulpia Concert Hall is right there. The music is almost deafening at this point. You're kind of shouting at each other with this conversation.
There's a bunch of people crying and things are very sad, but then you hear, "Hey! Oh my God, it's so good! This is
How are you?"
Do you want a beer?
Yeah, can we just suck off the adventure and go to the pub?
Who did you come with?
That's what the bards would do. So I'm very intrigued. Archie and Tisel, you have been away, and you two as well. It seems you have, in this moment, we are all here.
Not that I was here the first time, but these things happen.
Coincidences are common. People like to think everything happens for a reason, but more often than not, things just happen to people in the same place sometimes. Don't read too much into it, is what I would say.
People try to find patterns or explanations in their minds.
Yeah, exactly. Although...
Oh my God, you're also fucking wise. I thought you meant to be bards, not bloody clerics.
The crying?
Yeah, should we...
yeah, we should keep going. Yeah.
Follow the music?
All right. Well, as you all proceed, shouting at each other, there is a bigger this time, a huge flash of purple emitting from the base of the column of darkness, which is basically through the ceiling of the Zulpia Concert Hall. This purple energy zips up into the air and arcs towards the Godcatcher statue. You see the otherworldly energy ripple all over it, and in the blink of an eye, the 300-foot statue disappears into thin air. The column of darkness visibly gets much bigger, much more strong, and sounds so much louder. The music in your minds at this point increases in volume and tempo, and it sounds as if you were stood in the auditorium itself. You are now 100 foot away from the concert hall, and it seems to just sigh as this all happens.
Well, that's disconcerting.
I mean, I never really liked that just being a big naked butt, but that was quite a lot.
A lot of that.
we saying the statues of Waterdeep are all nude? Because that's a take.
Godcatcher was canonically like a big butt sticking out of the ground, right?
It is clothed. It is clothed, Gutter Brain, but Harmony.
Welcome to Waterdeep. Look at the massive genitalia.
I was shocked. I
in the
just
Hey, what do you do? Spend all day looking at that ginormous penis.
This is Imagination Land. The statues can be dressed however you wish, but it did have clothes on at the time. But the butt section was resting on the pavement of Waterdeep.
Yeah, I knew there was something.
That's where we got the butt from. That's where we got the butt from. The wiki now states all of the walking statues of Waterdeep are now naked in the multi-color version of Waterdeep.
I'm sorry.
Cannon.
Not for that.
Yeah, it was an eyesore, but also it's just gone. It was there, and now it's not.
Are we sure we are equipped to handle this?
Reggie reaches a hand out to the left and pulls his guitar into existence.
I reiterate the question with more emphasis. Says
I play a really, really aggressive A sharp, an instrument that barely exists except in the figment of my imagination.
Roll a performance check for me, please. I'm going to make you roll every single performance check, just in case there's a natural one.
That is a 20 with the modifier.
It has the effect that you wish, whatever that effect may be.
Prove a point.
I'll play a chord off the A sharp on my ukulele, just like. Is that what we're going for here?
Yeah, I think it is.
Nice. What is that?
It's an A sharp chord.
No, the what is
the dog?
the random dog. Well, no, what is that instrument? That is wow.
That instrument is Maurice.
Maurice, is that its name?
That's the name that Reggie has given it.
Oh boy.
I'm writing it down.
Cool. Is this like a piano, but like a guitar as well?
It's like a piano and a guitar. Had a little baby, and they gifted it to me on the first day. And by the 7th day, and he bops out a wonderful tune. But first of all, presses a button that plays a sick beat. And then as he clicks to turn it off, presses the wrong button that aggressively shouts, DJ!
I'm suddenly a lot less impressed.
Well, I guess that answers all of my queries and qualms about whether we were competent. So
Is it Harmony? Does it?
The Sally approaches to Harmony, and it's sort of strange, but it's like, I think I have something that could help just in case we run into danger, if you don't mind.
I mean, you have a history of being reliable and dependable when people are relying and depending on you, so perfect.
Roll for
Because,
passive aggressive.
Yeah, but Cecily's like, I don't understand, but reaches into his bag. It's basically like some E6000 and some rhinestones, and start putting some rhinestones on Harmony's shield.
You do not start putting rhinestones on Harmony's shield. That does not happen.
Could I have a contested dexterity check for me, please, from both of you, to see what happens as a result of this? If in doubt, rhinestone the shield. I love it.
18.
19.
Oh, 19 just beats. Giselle, you rhinestone the air as it just falls off sadly onto the cobbles.
Whoa, hey,
So,
what's going on?
I think it could do some improvements to your equipment.
I very much appreciate the thought, but maybe you could take that up with Mistra, as this is sort of her emblem.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So,
I think it needs any.
rather use maybe your shoulder in your armor, or?
Do you know what? I quite like it as it is. You keep your bling. That seems to be your whole thing, and I will Harmony flicks like a tiny smudge off her plate armor. I'll just keep this as it is, if that's all right.
Perfect. And Silly takes back. What we concern, like, what's going on? Put back his rhinestones and his 6,000.
As we keep going, I will sort of lean across to Harmony. Is everything okay? Tess is really great. Like, what?
I'm not really into just any random guy coming up and trying to stick things on my clothing. It's not really top of my list of things I want to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he's not just a random guy. I haven't seen him in years, but he was kind of an asshole.
Is he?
You know Alkis, my mate Alkis at the cathedral?
Yeah.
Head over heels in love. Amazing guy. Gonna sweep him off his feet and like give him the best life ever, and then just vanished into the blue without a word, without a note, broke all his promises and broke his heart. Do you remember he was like moping around for yeah, that's him.
Oh, right.
I haven't heard from him since I spent like a month getting Alkis out of bed and making him hot chocolate and kind of telling him that it was going to be okay and he wasn't worthless and he didn't deserve all of this, and like,
no.
Yeah. And he hasn't. This guy's just popped back and isn't even deigning to protect. He's pretending nothing's happened. So,
I mean,
yeah, not just some random guy trying to stick sparkly stuff on my clothes. Also quite a jerk.
I'm just going to remind you, you're all shouting at this point in time.
He's a bigger ass than the god catcher's butt.
but echoes.
Okay. Well, let's come back to that when we're not talking at the top of our lungs.
We have to do the crying. The crying is still happening, so we should maybe focus on that one.
Sure. Maybe let's just start from a place of, let's not assume that everything that happened there was negative. Like, maybe there was misunderstanding, maybe there was confusion. Sounds like Tess has been like not here for 10 years and hasn't aged a day, so maybe that's part of it too. I mean, should we give him the benefit of the doubt for now?
I mean, there is only justice and mercy. The scales are balanced. But
yeah.
I don't. Crying babies, we will just do what needs to be done, and then when there's time, he can explain to me why I had to pick Alkis off the floor, and we'll be fine.
I'm sure that's a conversation that he would love to have.
I'm sure. If he could just stop sticking stuff on my shield. Nice.
Sure.
And with those words, those shouty words, you are now in the courtyard of the Zulpec Concert Hall. It's flanked either sides with former boutiques, hotels, wig shops, tailors and hairdressers, all of which have stood empty for the last decade.
Yeah.
Directly in front of you by 30 foot stands the once glorious, now derelict Zulpec Concert Hall. Wrought iron awning is sagging. The gilded parts of the iron is bare. The gold leaf is flaking away. All that remains of the once beautiful stained glass are the leaden frames, and there are 7 deep stone steps that run the width of the front of the building that lead up to 4 sets of tarnished brass-fronted double doors. You all know the stories. You all know the rumours of what happened to this place 10 years ago. Some of you were there. After the Heimlich incident over this decade ago, the building always seemed to absorb any light that came near it. But now the darkness has gathered to its full capacity since the cataclysm has occurred. You're 30 foot away from this building. It is there, standing. What are you doing? Other than shouting loudly about each other.
And it's too loud to talk, basically, or if it is, we're just shouting at the top of our lungs.
You can hear each other, definitely, but it's quite audible.
Is it audibly coming from within the hall?
It is, yes.
And you say
it's
we're
almost
30
like
foot away?
Yeah, it's almost like it's coming from beneath it, but in the centre.
Just hold out my hand, and a shadow is going to coalesce on my hand, and then the shadowy hand moves forward. I'm just going to try the door with a mage hand.
Okay, which door would you like to try? There are 4. The very left, the 2 centre, or the one on the right?
Centre left.
Centre left. The mage hand flits up to the door, tries to open it, but it shakes the handle, but it does not open.
I'll continue to try the rest of the doors.
Got you, okay. So you kind of go from a left to right fashion, and you finish on the very left-hand side door. As it goes through all 3 to the right, nothing happens, but as it gets to the left-hand side door, this happens before the hand reaches for the doorknob. The doors, just this one set, burst open, and a cloud of huge vulture-like bats cascade up into the dark midnight sky and away from you. Their leathery wings are sort of carrying them upwards. And through the open doors, you see the fluctuating purple light reflected from the surfaces within. At this point, a shriek bounces and echoes all around you, and drifting through the closed doors are a few figures. Who has been, before the Heimlich incident, who has been to this place?
Not me.
Probably me.
Or a guest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, those of you who have been here before, could you roll a history check for me?
9.
5.
17.
17 to Sally. You're a chatty Cathy. You know who's coming out these doors. These are figures who you have seen them in life. You have not seen them in death. There are 3 ghosts. There is Box Office Mary in her little hat and little scarf. There is Geraldine the usher with her sensible trousers and shoes. There is also cloakroom attendant Andy. His jacket is askew and at a weird angle, and always was like that in life. Each one of these apparitions have green spectral appearances. Normally their spirits sort of tend to keep to themselves, but you see their faces contorted in rage, shrieking to one another. They seem to be arguing amongst themselves, like up into the sky. They are paying you no mind.
Do we have actions and stuff?
It's not combat. You are just... this is what you see.
Okay.
I communicate that with the party, like, it's these people that I think it is. And then it's like, I don't think they seems really friendly, but I might be wrong. And start like slowly walking towards them, sort of waving like.
I will just play a standard chord, nothing too clever, and I'll create an emboldening bond between everyone apart from me.
Fine.
So you all have... You can roll a d4 out to attack, roll ability check or saving throw for the next 10 minutes, as often as you like. And because I'm a high enough level, you can also use your reactions. Where is it? There it is. You can use your reactions to, when someone takes damage within 30 feet of you, between the 4 of you, you can use your reaction to teleport to a space next to them and then take the damage instead.
Oh, Taseli, as you approach to this group of shrieking ghosts, could you make an insight check for me? And at that point in time, let's have Hunk make a perception check.
9.
14.
14. With that 14, Taseli, you are able to understand that these people have, in life, were quite emotional. And it's like their worst qualities have been increased. So they are arrogant, they are angry, they are petulant, they are anything that was bad about themselves. That is the only thing that they are now. They are corrupted in some way. Hunk, with that perception check, even as low as it was, you are still able to see drifting through the doors another figure, dressed in an opera gown. And you see, all of you, I guess, would see, retrieving a spectral set of opera glasses, looks over to these 3 corrupted ghosts. And hey, with that perception check, Hunk, you can tell that this ghost is rolling its eyes. You swear you can hear the word amateurs.
Yeah.
And she is just drifting down the stairs, 25 foot away from you.
Hello?
Well, hello. Speak up. I can't hear you. Do you want to come closer, dear? Because otherwise we're shouting. I'm one for projection, but come on.
Hunk.
Do I recognize this figure?
Heimlich, you know this figure. I won't ask you to roll. This is the old deer that haunted the Zolpec Concert Hall way before the Heimlich incident. She's been here for a very long time, and she is the old ghost that everyone knows.
Do I know her name?
Oh, sorry. Yes, you do. It's Alice.
Alice.
Alice, the ghost of the Zolpec Concert Hall.
Alice, it is nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too, darling. Are these your troupe? Are they here for the rehearsals?
In a manner of speaking, we're actually more planning an improvised performance of sorts, eh?
Oh, well, good luck, dear.
Look around everybody.
No, well, the last one didn't go so well, did it? No.
Well, that wasn't improvised. Maybe I over-prepared. Who knows? Sorry you have been so lonely in the years since. I hope you have had some company.
Oh, well, me and Ducky, we get along, you know. He's in there at the moment. He's trying to work out what this new special effect is.
And what have you any understanding of what is going on inside?
Well, it's absolutely rammed, dear, to the rafters. You know, the audience has taken over. I can't even get to my dressing room anymore. There's too many autographs, darling. And, I've just come out because Ducky doesn't know what to do with it all, really.
It's hard to be so popular.
You would know who Ducky is. The rest do not. Ducky is the stage director.
I will sort of watch as much as you can when you're having to shout to be heard. Ducky is the stage manager. He's a very good fellow.
You don't know who Ducky is, the rest of you? Oh, don't tell him that. No, don't tell him that at all. He won't like that.
Why are there ducks?
Oh, hello, you. You and the horns. Yeah. He's not a duck. He's a person. Very good. Very good. You must take his direction. He knows his way around the stage. You really have to just do the emotion of it all, you know.
Are we performing something?
Well, you tell me, dear.
And Alice, this audience, what have they gathered for?
For the show that Ducky's putting on. They're out of control, you know. I hate to go incorporeal, but I just had to escape the place.
Alice,
Hello.
Are these ghosts bothering you?
Oh, God. The most funless place seen in decades, and there they are making a song and dance, and not a good one. You know, at least I had the gumption to move out of the way when the shockwave hit. Look at them, amateurs.
Excellent.
If anyone wants to make an insight check, I'd say Heimlich with advantage, because you know what Alice is like.
That one.
Ooh!
I don't think
she's lovely.
I don't think Hunk's a fan of ghosts. I think ghosts probably freak them out a bit. Okay.
19.
22.
22, 19. Well, with those two, you would know that ghosts tend to know what they knew in life. and the longer they have been around, the less they tend to remember, especially what's going on in the real world. So whatever perception Alice may have may not be the correct one. It would be her version of what the truth is.
Oh, did you all add a d4?
Did not.
Yes.
23.
Oh, the same.
So Tiseli will look at the lady.
Mhm.
I will say, but sorry, can you hear that music and the babies, all the crying? What's going with that?
Now, there's one thing that we say in show business, dear. Do not work with babies or wayward songs.
That is what we say.
Right. I always say that,
Or
but
pets. I mean, it's just atrocious.
so who is doing that if it's so well known that you shouldn't do that?
I don't know. There was a man downstairs. He was going to fix it. Ducky's asked him.
When this man showed up,
Go on. Oh,
When
when
does
did
this-
this man
yeah,
show?
when did this man?
I don't know, a couple of days ago?
Before the event?
The special effect. Yes, it showed up around the time of the special effect. Not very chatty. Not very chatty at all. Didn't
Alice.
want my autograph.
Alice,
dear.
this man, is he a season ticket holder? Have you seen him before?
No, I've not seen or heard of this person before in my life. Ducky
Oh.
doesn't know who it is either, but they've assured us that they will fix the special effect.
Where did he go?
I don't know, dear. I've not wanted to go and talk to him. I assume he's still downstairs.
Well, how about those of us capable of charming an individual? Reginald Peggio charmed, I'm sure.
Very.
Would have a conversation with this man who is playing the babies downstairs.
Well, please do. I hope he's not working with children either, because that would be most distracting when one's trying to put together a special effect. I'm sure you understand. I do need some air before my performance.
You are a musician yourself.
I'm an actress, darling. Do you not know me?
I can't say I do.
At that point, she gets a fan out of her little satchel that she's got on, her little handbag, and just puts it up, which blocks your face away from hers, and starts to just turn the other direction, up the stairs, and just stands at the top fanning herself.
Why don't we go and get those special effects sorted?
So someone arrived when the special effects started. Maybe they were trying to fix it?
Either way, it seems like it will either be someone trying to fix it who we can help, or someone who caused it who we should stop. Either way, finding them seems like a good idea.
Mm-hmm. I'm down.
It's a good plan.
Thanks, Heimlich.
All right. So you begin to make your way up the stairs to the Zolper concert hall. And with that, I think it is time for a break.
Hey.
Do come back. We'll be 10 minutes or so, and we'll find out what happens when these folks get inside the building soon. See you then. welcome back. So, last we were here, these folks were about to go into the Zilper Concert Hall. And that is what we're going to go and do now. How exciting. So, who's first in the doors? That's my first question.
Harmony has a shield. Will try and position herself near the front.
I've got a shield. Doesn't mean I'm in
Harmony
first.
is using her shield.
I'm using my shield. No, I'm not. Mine's on my back.
One thing I would just... I sometimes, from my connection to the stuff, I sometimes see things. Can everyone else see that large black egg? I don't feel like that has been explained.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's
Like the
always
elephant
there.
in the room, but I actually know an elephant called Raya. She is great. And
Hang on. That's a really good point.
That?
Tess, do I know about Swifty, or is that new?
No.
It's new.
No one has seen Swifty ever.
Right, then rewind that. And then we go, I learned a while ago with Tess, it's best not to ask.
I love that all of you just been going along with this massive egg that's been following you all. Oh, yeah, sure.
It's the least weird thing that's happened in the last few days.
And if that counts as an instrument now, I suppose that might be an instrument too.
How does Swifty cope with stairs, Tiseli? Is it okay with stairs?
Yeah,
Or
I
does it do
have
a
like
Dalek thing?
large sort of legs, of at least in one sharp angle, so it sort of can do it. Like, it's not like arachnic legs, but they are flexible enough to do it. Yes, I mean, it should be sort of like, well, the illustration on the books are always like dogs and animal things, but this is just a little tiny egg.
Beautiful. Well, led up the stairs by Harmony. We'll put the egg last, shall we?
Yes, because yes, that's a good idea.
You make your way into this building and you find yourselves in the foyer. And those of you who have been here before would know, but those of you who have not been here would not know that it stretches the entire width of the concert hall. There is a central box office which was once bordered with stained glass. There's a certain detectable crunch, especially maybe from Harmony's armoured foot as you step on the broken glass as you enter. There's a set of double doors straight ahead of you as you enter, and the peeling sign above them reads auditorium. Now, you can see, if you're on the left, you can see a long, wide space to the left of the auditorium stretching beyond your view. And directly on your left, like if you just look over your shoulder, is a wide marble staircase leading to the floor above. To your right, on the other side of the foyer, love that word, is an identical staircase and another set of doors to the auditorium. This building is symmetrical, so there's another walkway that goes down the other side as well. But what would you like to do at this moment in time as you crunch your way in?
Can I use a mage hand to sort of sweep the glass out of the way?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not very quiet.
No, no, I just don't want anyone to get hurt.
I mean, at the moment, nothing is quiet, so it suits me.
Are we still shouting? I'm sorry! I'm not very quiet!
Could I divine sense, please?
Of course you can. Just remind me what you can see with said divine sense.
Everything.
I see everything.
God.
If anything affected by Hallow spell, any celestial fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
From your current position, no, you do not see anything other than Alice, who's still outside. I guess as you walk through the threshold, you would enact the divine sense. She would certainly ping on the little graph in my mind, the alien kind of radar.
They're everywhere.
Yes.
I think she said downstairs, didn't she?
Yeah.
She said he went downstairs, but she also said there's a whole crowd in the auditorium. So should we just peek in and see if there's anything going on in here?
Do we think they're all ghosts?
There aren't any ghosts through that door.
Oh, okay.
Or if there are, they're really sneaky ghosts.
Oh.
Having been here before, do I remember if there's any way to get into the understage or backstage area from this point?
Sure, good question. You don't need to roll for that. You would know that on the left-hand side, technically stage right, there are some spiral stairs that lead down to the other stage, which is usually where scenery is kept and that sort of thing.
So I think it is a good idea to see what is happening in auditorium, but also if we want to go under the stage and backstage over there, which leads us the way we want to go.
So we got to go through to go down.
Are they sort of connected? So if you go sort of backstage, can you reach downstairs? And if you go downstairs, can you reach backstage?
Yeah, there's, again, on the other side, there would be doors as well. So you'd be able to access all of it from whichever direction you go. At this point, Alice will, despite not liking to incorporealize, she's going to drift through the doors next to you and then just start to drift up through the floor above you.
You think we should follow her?
No.
She said downstairs and she wasn't particularly helpful.
Just at this moment as well, now that you're all within the foyer, you can smell the foisty must of creeping moss. But you can also sense decay, and it seems layered. There is vegetation, but there is also something more rotten.
In the state of Denmark.
Yeah.
Heimlich.
Yeah?
Is that you?
Make a perception check, Harmony.
Heimlich smell.
Are you emanating again, Heimlich?
That is a dirty 20.
It's not Heimlich. It's coming from the left-hand side, the tunnel that leads down to the spiral staircase on the left-hand side of the auditorium.
I guess we head towards the moldy smell.
You know me. You go, I follow.
Oh.
I will follow you.
As long as there's no ghosts, I'm not okay with ghosts.
Oh, I can't promise. But there weren't any within 60 feet.
Okay.
Reggie's just not quite listening or paying attention. Sort of running a hand along the wall and taking in the room.
It was once such a beautiful, grand place. You can only imagine what the auditorium looked like. If this is what the foyer looked like, a gathering place of so many nobles of Waterdeep and so many brilliant minds of the musical industry.
He grabs a small piece of glass and pockets it.
You find whichever colour of stained glass that you would like, and you put that in your pocket.
How long has it been? How long will the emboldening bond last?
Yeah, I would say that is on its way to diminishing very soon. You've got about 5 more minutes, we'll say.
It's only 10
Let's
minutes.
find something to hit.
No, don't worry, it's fine. I mean, I've got loads. It lasts for 10, so we've got. I just will leave it for now.
So that's, which way are we going? Are we going down the left-hand side? Are we
Down the smelly stairs?
If you go, I will follow.
It's a vision of like a multi-story car park. Oh no!
Down the smelly stairs.
I do those stairs, but I won't ask why. I know why, but wow. Why do people insist? Anyway, you make your way down the smelly stairs. These were beautiful once. They are marble. They kind of glisten as you make your way down, even through the tarnished badness that has occurred here. They still glisten slightly. And you see this long corridor, which once is where, during a show, either before or during, people would gather for drinks. There's like a bar to the left-hand side. There are lots of posters here as well from old performances before the Heimlich incident. Lots and lots and lots of old people. There's even one about Alice, when Alice performed here a long time ago. But that is all lovely, but what is not lovely and what is the source of the smell? You see crammed at the very far end, there's a door to the right-hand side at the end of this corridor that leads to backstage. But crammed in this section are about 12 or so and this is Harmony, your divine sense would start pinging at this point. Zombies, you now see them as you come down the stairs. You can see the whole thing, but they are dressed in costume. They are dressed in floaty kind of chiffon. One of them has a donkey head on.
As soon as you said floaty chiffon, it has to be the dream.
Right. What would you like to do? They don't really pay you much mind at the moment, but you are about 60 foot away from them.
I want to play Helena, obviously.
Are they in our way?
They do block the entrance to the left-hand side of stage.
Hunk. You know you're not the biggest fan of ghosts.
Yeah.
How do you feel about zombies?
Oh, they're fine. That's not a problem at all. That's just a dead person, but a ghost is like a dead person that could like take over your brain and like, oh, it's not okay.
Great logic. There's 12-ish. We could either go round or we could go through.
I could make them all run away.
I was just going to hit them. I like your plan better. I mean, I don't. I want to hit them, but...
If you want to hit them, then you hit them.
No,
I don't
probably
need to
making them run away is wiser. I mean, I was never very good at the wisdom thing.
Anyone else? I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. Nope.
I feel like it's your bailiwick, Hunk, being a very spiritual soul. Maybe
that's nice. Yeah.
Have some communion with these corpses and make them leave. Would be nice.
Okay. Right. Then in which case I will step up and it's a loud chord, but it is very much like a, and I will turn undead on the zombies.
Oh, just out of interest, how close do you need to be to them to turn them? How far do you have to step into this?
30 feet.
30 feet. Cool. All right. So you watch as Hunk moves 30 foot. Hunk, you go down the stairs, you make your way through this space. You see on your right-hand side, that's where the boxes are. And you can see the velvet curtains that are all sort of diminishing and crumbling. And through it, you can just make out the auditorium. There's a slight green glow down there, but for now, you cast Turn Undead.
Mm-hmm.
They all begin to sort of shamble away from you towards the stage.
They do get wisdom saving throws, just to be clear.
Cool. I mean, they're not very wise, but I will roll those. I'm just going to do this. What's the DC?
15.
3 of them are not moving, but they're the ones sort of like near the front. So the rest of them sort of shamble past them. And from the auditorium, you all hear the voice of someone saying, No, Phyllis, it's not your time to be on. You must go back. Take 5, everyone, take 5. And
do we recognize the voice?
To tell you would not recognize the voice. Heimlich, history check with disadvantage. Perhaps a sort of elusive figure you may not have seen before.
Disadvantage. Thank you, D&D Beyond. 8.
8. Oh, no, not sure who that is.
Oh, no.
From the context of the conversation we're all having upstairs, Harmony is going to assume it's Ducky.
That's a good assumption, Harmony. One does not need to roll for that. Yeah, you're fine. Yes, you would assume that is Ducky.
I have an intelligence of 7. I make no assumptions. Well, most of them are gone. Some still here.
Do we want to go have a quick... If Ducky's just been here this whole time, they might be able to tell us a little bit about what's happened a few days ago.
Is Ducky another ghost?
No, the director manager person that they were talking about upstairs.
I would just like to point out it has been quite a while since all of this happened. If Ducky has been here, he has probably starved to death.
Oh, he is already dead.
Oh, convenient. Let's go find out.
Is he a ghost?
Yeah.
Harmony, through the velvet curtains of the boxes, you do get a ping. You did not see this with the cover because you weren't able to look into the auditorium. But yes, there is a ping of a ghostly someone in addition to the zombies, which are currently kind of milling around stage.
Ooh. Sorry, Hunk, I missed that one. Yeah, very ghosty.
Well, why don't you friends go ahead and I'll take up the rear with the egg.
Please ride the egg.
You're welcome.
Anyone else play Dragon Age Inquisition? Just me? I'm calling it the egg now. So there's a character who has a bald head who's in the fandom known as the egg. So,
Cecily will follow Harmony.
I will go along as well.
And look, you seem to know these people. Do you want to do the chatting?
I will, of course, do chime in if you have any questions, any queries. But I never actually met Daki himself. I hung out with Alice more. She was always in the dressing rooms. But yeah.
What was she doing? You won't ask.
She was preparing. Potentially preparing to go on stage and never getting her call. It is a horrible fate for a ghost.
That is really sad.
Yeah. Act 1 beginners, please.
So you would have to sort of move back to the front of the foyer, those double doors. You go back to there because the way is shut, you cannot pass. You enter this space, which was once a glittering jewel in Waterdeep's cultural crown, but now its frescoes are crumbling and the golden plaster work is fading. The red velvet of the remaining seats is threadbare. It's peppered with years of disuse, and looking out over the auditorium, you enter and there's sort of some stairs going downwards. Behind a formerly beautiful gilded arch, now draped with rotting curtains, is through the stage itself, the huge column of dark energy through the stage. It leaves only a small section of the downstage area untouched. So there's access from the wings and the apron in front of the proscenium arch, sort of 10 foot's worth of space on stage. And on the stage at the moment are some zombies just sort of shambling around. You go down, sorry, Tasali?
Is the column going through the floor, or is floor and then column?
It's going through the floor as if it's coming from underneath the stage itself. It goes through the floor and up through the once beautiful ceiling, which is now splintered. And that is the column of smoke that you've seen through the sky. But yeah, you go down the stairs to the grand hall. And you see that most of the seating that remains has sort of been pushed away, leaving only a single row near the front. And on that, you see a green, wispy figure. It is a ghost wearing a trilby hat and what looks like a pale pinstripe suit. You see him stand and he has this sort of thin moustache and a cigarette in one hand and a teacup in the other, and he's sort of just flicking the ash of this cigarette into the teacup. He's watching the stage as the zombies are shambling around. He looks beside himself. One of the zombies kind of crashes into the column of smoke, and you see their face kind of snap like a magnet against it. You see a version of who this person was before they became a zombie, just for an instant. But then their face begins to sort of sprout with lots of fungi, and then lots of little cogs appear, and then it pulls away from the column of smoke and reverts to its zombie self once again. No, back to your marks. Phyllis, I see you until your name is above the door. You will do as I say. Do you hear? Just can't find the talent nowadays. He hasn't noticed you yet.
I will walk up and approach, not to disturb, but not to be surreptitious.
Are you here? Hello? Who are you? What are you here for?
Hello. We are here, I believe, for a performance.
Are you here for the backdrop? I requested a backdrop of the Feywild and they've given me this. And he points to the big column of smoke.
No, our skills do not extend to the making of the scenery. We are musicians.
Right, okay, so you can't help me with my backdrop,
No.
but you can play me something.
Possibly, but this set you have here, the big purple swelling column of shadow, is quite dynamic, no? Why would you not want to do this? It's very contemporary in its approach to theatre making.
I'm meant to be doing the dream, darling. I don't want contemporary. I want my backdrop. I've ordered it and it's not turned up.
Look, might have a solution to Ducky's problem, was it?
You don't know who I am. I'm sorry.
I'm afraid I have not had the fortune of moving inside your circles.
Clearly. Go on.
And Reggie will shunt, or rather pull, the guitar up and play one suspended chord, and in doing so, produce a 20 by 20 foot backdrop to the stage, which perfectly encapsulates the feeling of the Feywild by casting major image. Sorry.
Nice. Okay, that lasts for an hour, doesn't it?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Cool. All right, can you just roll... Have you ever been to the Feywild, or have you heard stories of the Feywild?
Stories of the Feywild.
Stories. Let's go for a history check with disadvantage to see how well this looks.
That's a 15 and a 17 plus 1. So that is a 16 for the lowest roll there. And it also encapsulates Reggie's understanding of the smells and sounds of the Feywild too. Slightly moist, like the forest in the morning when there's dew lying upon the soil.
You know, that is uncanny. That is uncanny. The scores of people I've asked to fetch me my backdrop, have they done it? No, they have not. But you have arrived, you have apparated, and lo and behold, my backdrop appears. Who are you? Who made you?
Reginald Peggio. Charmed, I'm sure.
Arpeggio. We'll call you Arpeggio. How about that?
Oh,
yes,
no.
thank you.
How did I not notice that?
Right.
Wow.
Right. Sam mentioned this to me a couple of days ago, and I was like, it's meant to be Arpeggio. Anyway.
So ashamed of myself.
Ducky, you are did you happen to be here on the night that this all started?
Yes.
See, I misplaced an invitation. Glares at Heimlich. And I was
can't tell through the shades, but okay.
just wondering whether you could, as I have provided you with a favor, begin to fill me in on the exact specifics of what happened, what has happened, and why you might think that this column appeared a few days ago.
What I understand is, as I've already explained, I ordered a backdrop. I did not get my backdrop. I got this. I do not know who has put this where it is, although I do know that there is someone downstairs trying to fix it. As for where I was when the eruption occurred, I was outside having a fag. I'm sure you understand it's a pressured role, and I can't stay in here all my life, darling.
I understand. The gentleman downstairs, he been here a while, or
Well,
see, there was a lady who said he showed up kind of when it happened, but had you ever seen him before? Is he like ourselves, or more like yourself?
Is he a stage director? No. If he's so inclined as to play musical instruments, I don't know. I haven't asked. What I do know is that he's downstairs attempting to fix this thing.
Could you do us the honor, if you happen to be taking a break anytime soon, of introducing us to him?
I haven't the time to introduce you to him, but should you wish to go downstairs, I'm sure I could ask the cast to move.
That would be mighty kind of you.
And he He drops his fag, which doesn't actually go anywhere. It just kind of dissipates into nothing. Drops his teacup and its little saucer, and again it fades into nothing. Claps his hands and says, right, everyone, finale time. Come on, all of you on stage, and all of the zombies in their Midsummer Night's Dream-esque Faerunian version of make their way shambling on stage. Hunk, do you still have your turn undead on?
I believe it's just a one and done.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's a one and done.
Got you. Okay. So yeah, they do begin to shamble on from either side of the stage. Again, a couple kind of knock up against the column and then kind of make their way to the front
Are they going to do a jig? Are they doing the end of the globe jig?
One of them dressed as a wall.
Did Buck mention a name? Not yet, right?
We've not heard a name for the person downstairs.
Yeah, sorry. Did you know the name? Have you talked with this person?
I didn't ask, darling. I just assumed they'd get it done and it would be done, but is it done? No, it's not. Although I do have quite a smashing backdrop now. How long does it last? 10 minutes?
Yeah. Oh, is that you asking or is that him asking?
No, it's so hard to tell. That was me, Liz, asking. It is 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yes, I look forward to this for the evening performance. I hope it stays.
I'm sure it will.
You could deception check, right? You?
That is 18.
18. You've sold it. He likes you. It's fine.
Are we still hearing the music and shouting, or has that stopped now?
You are, although it seems to have dimmed and is beneath you.
Okay.
It is not as loud as it was when you were outside. But directionally, you can certainly understand where it's coming from.
This gentleman appears to be very busy doing his important work. Should we, onwards? Downwards?
Yeah.
And
Bit at the back, avoiding the ghost.
And as you begin to exit, you just hear him saying, "Someone fetch me another coffee." And as you exit, you make your way to the spiral stairs that lead you down the way. Again, who's first? I'm guessing Harmony's always first.
If everyone's happy with that, if someone wants to jump in. But if not, she'll be...
We're a no-rogue party.
chonking along with her shield.
Nice.
Put the tank up front.
It'll be fine.
Be fine.
So, Harmony, you make your way through the backstage door, and to your immediate left, there is a very pungent smell of zombie, by the way. It smells awful. But to your left, there is a spiral staircase that leads downwards. And as you place one foot on it, there is a whirring creak with each step you take, and it sort of seems to shudder with every single foot you put on every single step.
This is fine.
Sure.
You could try and reinforce it.
I will just flip over my fiddle, which has got the spirit board on the other side. Yes, no, and an alphabet. Slap my hand on it. My eyes go completely black for a moment, and you have guidance for a minute.
Thanks.
That sounds dodgy.
Cool.
Would the emboldening one still be up, or is it now? Has it been 10 minutes?
That's been 10 minutes now, yeah.
Okay, then in which case I will think about my choices. No, I'll save it.
Cool. Okay, anyone else following on these stairs, or are you just waiting for Harmony to get to the bottom?
If Harmony's going and no one's following, I will follow after Harmony pretty much immediately.
Oh, yeah. I'm going.
Then I follow.
Creek.
I'm probably just behind Harmony.
Got you. Okay.
Actually, is it sensible? All right. Is it sensible for us more large-boned individuals to be frequenting these stairs at the same time?
Don't worry. If we fall, we won't fall because I got a thing. We fall like feathers. If we fall,
I have similar things.
I also have a similar thing.
That's great, because I just fall like a sack of potatoes if I fall. So it's a great spell. Potato sack. Third level.
it doesn't change the damage, it just makes the noise like a sack of potatoes hitting the ground.
So all of you who are on the stairs, which I think will be all of you at the same time, including the steel defender, could you please make a dexterity saving throw?
Oh no!
There's a
I am a paladin.
Yes.
All of you have a +5 on saves.
Oh, wow.
And you're within 10 feet of me, which you all are currently. So you all get +5.
Thank God, because my dex mod is a 0.
That's a 29.
Oh, nice. Reggie, the void takes
+5,
you.
also 29.
16.
25.
29 for Teseli. Steel Defender got 4, a natural 1. Well, 9 with a +5, but not good.
And Hank, what did you get?
16.
16. Okay. Everyone apart from Swiftly. The stairs kind of clonk down once and then begin to kind of creak forwards, and you feel gravity taking you all. But you're all dexterous little so-and-sos. You are able to kind of just skip off. Reggie with that 29. Was there somebody else with a 29?
Me.
You three, you kind of, it's like you step into the shadows and just drift down slowly, almost unhuman-like in your skill level there. Now then, Swifty, poor Swifty. You know what? Swifty only falls prone. There is no damage from falling because you're not really falling that far, if that makes sense. But yeah, Swifty kind of falls at a dodgy angle and goes the wrong way up, so the legs are up and the body is down.
Like a turtle trying to.
Yeah. Little flailing legs of poor Swifty. But you do rectify that. And at the bottom of this, once rickety staircase, which is now a prone staircase, you see there are 2 doorways down here, but one of them appears to have caved in somehow. Perhaps something to do with the massive F-off column that's going through this place. It's not the most stable of environments. However, you do see through an unpainted brick archway kind of immediately before you. You see the silhouette of a portly figure, about 40 foot away from the sort of center of this next room. 40 foot away from you, but in the center of this next room. Mm-hmm. Illuminated by the fluctuating purple energy, they seem to have 2 walking sticks. They are hunched and they are facing the column. Against the walls of this understage area, you do see rotting pieces of scenery. And you see what appears to be a dim lamp on the other side of this next room, about 65 foot away from the archway. You can feel the floor vibrating from the power of this column of dark energy. What would you like to do?
Hello?
Divine sense, please.
What sense?
Divine.
Divine sense, and that's for fiends, undead, celestial.
Yep, or anything unhallowed.
There is no pinging.
I just said hello.
I don't know.
Hunk, your hello kind of echoes through this space in the only way it can.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Far away is the
Figure does
light?
not turn. Sorry, Reggie.
How far away is the light? Sorry.
The light source is 65 foot away from you. And Taseli, you had a...
Sort of point at the figure. I'm gonna send a message. So the message is, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you need any help?
All you hear is this.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think whatever this thing is able to communicate. And it's scary. Scary.
Harmony.
Sorry.
Harmony will walk forward just so she's within 30 feet
Is it a ghost?
of the figure. No, not a ghost.
Oh, okay.
Harmony. So I'll just describe you walking into this space. So you walk in and you see on the floor in front of you, in weird little tendrily kind of movements, oil streaks almost. That's the only way you could really describe it. There are lots of them, as if something appeared and started to move everywhere. Now these oil streaks sort of divide where you are currently stood with where the figure is. So in a 15-foot cube, the figure stands in the middle of, there's no oiliness. But between you and it, that's where all the sort of oil is on the floor. Behind this figure is this huge column which ricochets up through the floor. To get within 30 foot, looking at this immediately underneath your feet, you would have to go into this oily goop on the floor. Is that something that Harmony would want to do, knowing that that's what is there? Harmony's seen it.
Rebecca knows the right answer, but Harmony has an 8 for wisdom.
Okay.
Which canonically means she's a reckless little idiot. So, yes.
Sure. Okay.
That person over there needs my presence. Off we go. Ooh, oily floor.
Oh, glory.
Glory.
You are pretty much 1 foot into this because that is where you would be to get within that kind of range. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
23.
23, you're fine. Your dexterity is amazing. Yeah, you're able to approach this figure. And as you do, you see... On the other side of the room, there was that light. And you see another one as you've sort of passed it on your left, just above your head. It's strange. It's a strange light fitting on the ceiling. It's shaped like a shell of a snail, but comprised of bones and lots of reflective bits. You see the light source actually is this sort of protrusion that sort of dangles down from the top of it, attached to the ceiling. And there's a very sort of dim glow at the end of it.
Is it an anglerfish?
Similar to an anglerfish. That's the kind of vibe that we would get. I guess Harmony wouldn't. But yes, you are near this figure. You are out of the, we'll call it grease.
You said it's 15 foot of...
There's so there's 15 foot, the figure's in the centre of it, and you're in that 15 foot of clearness.
Yeah, I said 30 foot, but I'll travel to within 15, so I'm not.
Yeah, slippy. Cool. And do you do anything when you get there?
Hello?
I think I'll probably follow Harmony.
I would follow Harmony too.
Well, Slippy, you'll be fine. I was fine.
I guess you wouldn't really see that Harmony slipped on anything, but you do see the goo on the floor. Anyone following to get to that central square? If you want to make a dexterity saving throw, please do.
If we followed Harmony with 10 foot of... I think I'm all right. It's 22.
11.
Just wanting that 5. Sticks of the paladin.
So Harmony, you make your way across. Heimlich's kind of clutching your arm and kind of just sliding through the grease. Hunk one step, one hoof into it, and you fall prone. This behaves the same way as grease, so you can use half your movement to stand back up again. What are the rest of you doing? Reggie and Taselli and your steel defender.
Ellie and Swifty is going to stay out of the ring, but sort of flanking it and just paying attention.
Okay, so you kind of stay by the door in the safe section.
Yeah.
That's fine. And Reggie?
Standing at the edge of the room, just fixated on the light on the other side.
You also do notice the one that's sort of above you on the ceiling. The ceiling here is about 30 foot high. It's quite tall.
Okay.
So there's 2 of those here. Harmony, you are 5 foot away from this creature.
I will, as a cantrip, cast Friends. Just sort of go, hello.
It turns to face you. You see these are not walking sticks. These are long skewer-like limbs. The face looks so sad. There's like black tears streaked down its face, but it comes up with this kind of creepy little smile. And I need everyone to please roll me some initiative, please.
I only said hello. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Nice friends.
Am I still canonically prone? I'm happy to be.
Sure. But yes, we'll put you prone.
A little pose on the floor.
Sorry.
Fine. I should be out of combat and away from
Never
things. This is ideal for me.
But you're a Minotaur.
Not that kind of Minotaur. Yeah.
Yeah, shout those numbers out.
24.
14.
20.
23 for Heimlich. And Hunk, what did you get, sorry?
14.
14. Taselli?
15.
15. And Reggie.
It was 20.
Oh, nice. Cool. Okay. So, first up on this list, Harmony. Although the face of this figure looks like it wants to be friends, you do see these very sharp skewers that it uses as both its arms as it kind of menacingly turns your direction. You are within 5 foot. You are immediately before it. What would you like to do?
And it has done a threatening, I'm going to do violence thing.
It looks happy about it in the sense that there's someone close to it, but it certainly has a menacing look about it, yes.
Excellent, because otherwise I'd have to hold my turn and I don't want to.
Yay.
I would like to hit it with my sword, please.
Roll to hit.
And I need to remember this time I have extra attack. That's natural 20, Liz. So that's
a nice number. That's a nice
27 to hit them.
Yes, that would definitely hit roll your damage.
Thanks. Should I do my second attack before I roll damage?
Whatever is easiest for you. If you're doing on D&D Beyond, it'll do
I will
it for you.
smite because I'm a paladin.
You smite away and do whatever you wish.
Do my extra attack, so I'll roll damage. Legit, that is a second natural 20.
Okay, throw away that dice, I don't like it anymore.
It was a purple die the first roll, it was the orange one the second.
Throw them both away.
They both rolled little 20.
I believe you, Gosh, I believe you.
The power is in Rebecca, Liz. It's not in the
Yes,
dice.
it is.
You can't stop the Rebecca. Yeah.
Okay, I might just smite on both of them then because I can.
Sure, why not? Treat yourself.
Oh, look, something
all of
terrifying.
us.
No.
Okay, so I haven't played Paladin in a very long time.
And look how badly it's going, Rebecca.
Oh no, I'm just... Yeah.
Oh, we love it. You know we love it.
Let's see, what is... Oh gosh, and I have all of these things because of my Bard College. Oh boy, okay, well, first things first. Let's do a third level... Let's just do 2 third level Divine Smites because why not?
Cross off those spells, remember to do that.
So
that's
that's
slots, isn't it, you use?
10d8 for the smite.
Mhm.
No, it's 20d8 because it's 2 third level smites at 5d8 each.
Oh.
But it was a crit.
Okay.
Plus your weapon damage.
Yeah, so 20d8 plus as another 24d8 plus 10.
Please tell me you have that many D8.
Plus your
on
blade
person
flourishes.
Right now.
Yeah, okay, plus my blade flourish. Paladins! Then because I am a swords bard, someone will remember 24d8 plus 10 for me.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to take the defensive flourish.
So you spend a bardic inspiration.
Yeah. Sorry, folks, I'm going to be slow for a minute.
Paladin Mass is a thing that we do. It's fine.
Yeah. Yes, because there's no other enemy and I don't want to push it away from my friends because they're all behind me. So defensive flourish is the way forward. So that will be an extra d6 and then I'll add that d6 to my AC. So that is 24d8
Plus 2d6.
plus 10 plus 2d6.
Is it
So
four,
I get to add
your
both.
your 4d8? That was one for the rapier and one for the fact that it's a radiant weapon, right?
Oh, flip me. No, it was. I forgot that bit. I have a crystal rapier.
Yep.
Means, yep, I get to do an extra 1d8. So it's in fact 2d8.
It's
Twice.
4d8.
Doubled. So
Yeah, it's another 4d8 on top,
twice.
so it's 28d8 plus
28d8
2d6
plus
10.
2d6 plus 10.
Now, does the 2d6, because of defensive flourish, you expend a bardic inspiration, you roll your bardic inspiration die, which we're doubling because of the crit. Is that right?
Yes.
Because it applies damage. Does that 2d6 also give you the armor?
So
that-
one of the d6 does. I don't know about
Yeah.
the rules of if it's
Because that's damage, isn't it?
You don't crit back onto yourself, no.
Yeah. Okay.
great. So it'll just be
roll-
1d6.
Unless you were
Yeah.
feeling kind, Liz, it's entirely up to you.
I would say, for the purpose of the fact we've just had 2 natural 20s, we'll just apply the 1.
That's
Because I
fair.
think you're doing great.
It's cruel
I
to
say,
be
you
like
said
that.
level 9, right, for this?
Yes. Harmony's actually level 20, everyone.
Oh, that's just paladins.
So that is 151 without the 2d6.
Oh.
151, 158, and one of those was a 6, so I'm going to add that one. So, 158 points damage, please, Liz. And then I have a bonus action.
I think you've had enough. Do you want to tell me what your strike initially looks like, and then just let me know what you're doing as a bonus action as well? So let us know how brutal this is.
I don't know how to do anything.
The creature's still standing, but it kind of...
I think as a bonus action, I will cast Compelled Duel to make sure that the person hits me.
Okay, that's a save, isn't it?
Yes. That is a Wisdom 17 save.
It was an 18 that I got on the dice.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Well, you've certainly got its attention. As it's the two blades, the one blade comes down on it twice, slicing into it. It's almost as if you are Mystra herself.
I think, the oil on the floor and the weird light glint off Harmony's crystal rapier, causing for a second that refraction to look like stained glass.
Nice.
And Harmony feels more confident than ever that she has Mystra's love and approval as she prepares to brutally murder this person.
Yes, paladins. That was beautiful. Harmony, are you staying where you are within this space in front of the creature? Or are you moving anywhere?
Yeah, I'm just going to stand there.
Okay.
I'll shift, if at all, so that my party are properly behind me.
Got you. Okay.
That was amazing. You're amazing.
Says Harmony.
Punk says prone from the floor. The creature is certainly looking quite worse for wear at this point in time. Quite shocked as well. But it's fine.
This is fine. I was not expecting that at all.
And Heimlich, you were able. You've got the best view in the house of this little move that's happened. You're right next to Harmony. Harmony's immediately on your right-hand side. A diagonal 5 foot away from you to your right is the creature that's just been sliced in trois. What would you like to do?
Well, I will take a moment to say Heilige Scheiße. What the fuck you learned on the road, Harmony? That was incredible. I will spin my white fiddle round, so it's the spirit board, slap my hand on it. I'm going to listen to Voice of the Dead and pull out a spirit tale and see if it's an interesting one. Number 6. Story number 6 from the Realm of the Dead.
Tell us what it says in brief.
Once was a man from Nantucket.
That is tale number 6, Tale of the Traveller. Target gains temporary hit points equal to a roll of your bardic inspiration dice plus your bard level, and while you have these temporary hit points, the target's walking speed increases by 10 feet and gains +1 bonus to its AC.
That's
I
great.
might hang on to that, and I will just look at the thing and say, "Oi, you kebab arms! What the fuck do you think you're doing around here with us?" And because I'm a proper bard, cast vicious mockery. Right in shit. Wisdom
It's rolled a
saving throw,
13.
please.
13 in total on its saving throw.
You fail now, Harmony. I know you'll be impressed at this. That's 2d4.
Oh shit.
Oh,
you're
he's very
demolished.
impressed by this. Harmony's like, yeah!
4 points of damage.
Oh gosh.
And that kills it.
Regrets. It looks, although happy to be surrounded by so many, it looks to regret its life choices when this vicious mockery hits. Is there anything else you would like to do on your go, Heimlich?
I'll move a little bit away, but not quite into the grease.
Got you.
I am a lover, not a fighter.
Okay, you would still be 5 foot away from this creature to remain out of the grease. You could circle it, but to
I'll
move
just
any further than 10 foot away, you'd have to.
Harmony between me and it.
Got you. You would have to go in the grease to do that, but sure.
I'll just stay where I am. Compelled duel
Okay.
is up. It's fine.
No, it isn't. Didn't pass.
With confirm.
That failed.
I didn't understand that. I think after that hit, I thought Harmony has got to. She's doing everything.
Nick, you just stand there and look pretty, okay? You got this. You got this.
I'll stand here and look haggard. I can do that.
Either or. I mean, it's so difficult to distinguish between the. Next
that's
up, Next up, we do have Reggie. Reggie, you are about sort of 30 foot away from the creature in the center. 30 foot above your head, however, you do see on this protrusion, they are starting to shift slightly. It's not their movement on their go, but you swear you see two little dragon arms. But it's your go now. What would you like to do?
So Reggie, as he always does, pulls out his guitar and begins to noodle slightly. That ain't gonna work, and throws the guitar at the dragon arms as an improvised thrown weapon.
Nice. Yeah, you do. No.
That is a 22 to hit.
Oh, 22 hits, yes. This dragon has got a red... this creature on the roof has got a red shell, just so you know.
Okay.
The other has got a blue one on the other wall.
Careful, the red one's homing, but the blue one hit whoever's in first place.
That's just 9 points of damage.
9. Could you describe for me how a keytar hits a shell and does damage?
Yes. As the keytar... Sorry, how much... Okay, I'm getting into this. Whatever. As the keytar strikes against the shell of this creature, it's the keys that actually hit it first. And there's a very high-pitched shriek, to which the dragon arms begin to cover their ears. The sonic disorder in the area around them, causing them to be owie.
To be
There's so much
owie.
owie in this room right now. It is unreal.
It's fine. It's 9 damage. It's not like... It doesn't need to be deep like Harmony.
So you throw this weapon into the air and it begins to fall. Does it continue to fall?
Before it falls, it's shunted into an extra dimension.
And it disappears.
And that's
Is
the
that
end
your
of the
go,
turn.
Reggie? Anything else?
It is
there?
indeed. I'll stay
That
right
was
there.
a masterful use of a turn. I love it. That's it, Reggie. We will move on over to Tiseli. Tiseli, you've watched Reggie throw his instrument at the light fitting, and you've watched the others move towards the central figure in the middle. The central figure is about 25 foot away from you on a diagonal, although Heimlich is kind of blocking your view from it. What would you like to do?
So I think Tiseli and Swifty are like in opposite sides of the room. So
Swifty
Tiseli's
would...
going to... Yeah.
Sorry, Ali. Swifty would have to make a dexterity saving throw if you wanted Swifty to move to the other side of the room because of the grease on the floor.
Okay. So in that case, if Swifty is next to me, Tiseli grabs some sort of tweezers or pliers.
Cool.
All of the materials or the tools of Tiseli are covered in rhinestones, and sort of clicks something inside of the egg and sort of gives sort of a twist, and the egg starts growing up as Tiseli casts enlarge reduced.
Nice.
And then he gives another tweak, and the egg sort of starts opening from below, and it sort of jumps, and then is one of those sort of key toys that transform in something, and out of the blue the egg transforms in a, now not that little, but in a pony that now looks like a horse.
Useful.
And the horse starts moving towards Harmony. I'm going to use also Mantle of Inspiration. So Mantle of Inspiration, it manifests like a small emerald butterfly in, I don't like a tattoo, wherever you want it. And I'm gonna do it in everyone but myself. So all of you have temporary HP. Just let me confirm that.
Amazing.
I think it's 8 at this point. Mantle of Inspiration.
Sounds
Yeah,
right.
it's 8 temporary. And you can use your reaction to move. So my Steel Defender is going to use its reaction to move towards Harmony. So now the horse looks like more like a ghost with an armor on top of it. And the spirit of the ghost is in blues and emerald tones. When the horse is... Do you want me to roll for the oily?
Yes, please.
Is that
if you
a...
could, dexterity saving throw for the horse.
Sure. Nice. So that is a 19 for the Steel Defender.
19 succeeds.
And it slowly walks towards Harmony. And it looks at you, Harmony. And there is something familiar. Of course, you've seen the module or the real module of this horse before. It resembles to something. And it compels you to trust it. And Teseli will shout in Infernal. Teseli will shout in Infernal, like, trust me, or something like that. And if you want to use your action to use some movement, then you could go on top of.
One thing I will just state that you're all able to see. This horse is large, isn't it? Yep.
Yes.
It is currently in the grease. So on the beginning of each of its turns, it will have to roll a dexterity saving throw. Don't let me influence your decisions, but that is what you can see with your eyes.
Is it larger than the thing we're fighting?
It is larger than the creature in the center of this room, although all of you have seen these light fittings appear quite big indeed. They appear to be large light fittings. 10 foot's worth of light fitting, who would have thought?
I would like to use my reaction to move through the grease towards a wall, so my back is to a wall, kind of straight back.
Sure. Yes, you'd be able to move probably back towards the wall where you came from, through the wall that houses the archway that you came through.
And that's a 16 on my dex save.
16 just passes that dex save. So Heimlich, yes, you are able to move
Paladin
30
Aura.
foot.
I will not use my reaction.
Okay.
I'm going to stay lying down in the grease.
If I use my reaction to get on a horse, I take an attack of opportunity, don't I? Because I'm in melee with.
It's interesting. Those arms look very long.
Mantle of Inspiration allows you to move without taking opportunity attacks.
Yes. And how far away from Creepy Boy is the horse in feet-ish?
The horse is immediately behind you, therefore 10 foot away from Creepy Boy. You are within 5 foot of the creature. You're immediately before it. You are technically being flanked by the horse and Creepy Boy.
So if I use my reaction to get on the horse, I would still be meat shield in between me and the rest of the party.
Technically, yes.
Then I never want to look a gift horse in the mouth. So
Hey!
I will use my reaction, feeling compelled to trust Teseli, which is in no way alarming. I will get on the weirdly familiar horse.
Nice. Okay. You would be able to. You can either. It's up to you. You can either try and mount the horse, knowing that it's behind you and sort of jumping, or you can turn around like a normal person and mount it. It's up to you. You tell me which you prefer. I don't care.
Don't want to turn my back on super creepy stabby arm person, so we'll do some weird backwards kind of scramble onto a horse.
Can we just roll an acrobatics check just to see how beautiful this is?
It's probably not going to be particularly beautiful. 17.
17. You know when Legolas does it to there's the Oliphant in Lord of the Rings. It's kind of that kind of swooping motion that you're able to make. And Harmony, you are on this pony which is covered in rhinestones, Ali.
My horse is amazing.
Is she stoned? Yes.
Actually, the horse has it's more like a unicorn, but the armor is of a horse, but the spirit of the ghost is of a unicorn.
Beautiful. Well, is that everybody's reactions as part of Teseli's turn?
I'm not using mine.
Yeah, I'm not using one either.
So my turn finishes, and then the Steel Defender acts immediately, but I don't give any order because I use my bonus action. So it's just gonna dodge.
Cool. All right. So, just so you know, Heimlich, you are right next to Reggie on the left-hand side of this room where you came in before, just so you can place yourself in this space. That was Teseli's go, Steel Defender's go. We're going to move over to the only grease angel in the room, which is Hunk. What are you doing, love?
Oh, I should use my reaction. Never mind. Right. No one's been hurt.
Correct.
No one's near it apart from Harmony, who is fine.
Correct.
Right. Then in which case I will use another emboldening bond on everyone in the room apart from me. Just a reminder, add a d4 to basically everything, and you can teleport to each other if someone takes damage to take the damage for them. Use your reaction, though. So that's my action, is the emboldening bond. And another... Hunk knows 4 chords. Another boom. Another 4-chord use, definitely.
Prong. It resounds.
And what else do I need to do? Just buff the party more. Yeah, I will throw a bardic inspiration to Harmony. I think is best. You got this, and play another couple of chords. And Harmony, you get my bardic inspiration also gives you a mote of inspiration, which is a sort of, it looks like a musical note, actual sort of like 3D eyes musical note, sort of floating around you. You would know from experience that it does. Basically, it's an inspiration, but better.
Nice.
What colour is it?
Well, it's for you, so it would be that sort of stained glass rainbow effect.
Thanks, Hunk.
You're welcome. It's actually quite comfortable here.
Are you staying prone on the ground?
I'm staying prone on the ground.
Beautiful.
Nothing's near me. Things try and hit me from far away. They'll struggle. I'm fine here.
True.
I'll probably do a little like pose.
Beautiful. Well, if that's your go, Hunk, we will move on over to... I've called them the lamp creeps. You can call them whatever you want, but it is their go now. You all see... that perhaps these are the source of the shiny, viscous, black goop grease on the floor. As you see them, as their movement, they're going to descend from the ceiling. There's these huge shells sort of dangle from a long trail of this black, elastic, slightly viscous, translucent goop. And you see the little dragon leggies reach to the floor as they kind of smush down onto the floor, the top of the shell. It's sort of a conical shape. But those who are close, no one's really close to the one on the far side of the room, that's 65 foot away when you were coming through the door. But Heimlich, Hunk, and Reggie, you see the red one as it descends down. You see the little leggies hit the ground. It plonks. And there's a face that emerges similar to an anglerfish, but coated in like dragon scales. You see the long protrusion, and you see these teeth. It's used all of its movement. It can't move any closer to you, and it can't really do much at the moment. Let me just check if there is anything that it can do, actually. There is nothing that it can do at the moment. So these things have descended. They are now on the ground. That is their go. We then move over to the lonely figure in the centre who's had 7 bells beaten out of it by Harmony. I need... Let's see. The only person within 5 foot is Harmony and the Steel Defender. In fact, no, you're not. You're within 10 foot because Harmony, you move backwards. Ignore me. That's fine. Nothing happens in that regard. However... Harmony, you do watch as a harpoon comes your direction.
Great.
Disadvantage, please, because of vicious mockery.
Nice. Thank you for reminding me. Let's see. In total, that's 22.
That misses.
That won't beat your AC, will it? Yeah, okay. Cool. And
Dirty.
let's see. Sally.
Yes.
The face looks up and it knows the source of all the shiny things in this room, all of the glittery nice things, and it likes it. It's going to roll and try and hit you. Would that again be with disadvantage, John?
No.
Or is that just on the first one?
It's first attack.
Got you. Actually, no, it can't do that. It's not done anything else. Ignore me. Nothing happens to Sally. It attempts to attack Harmony. This large harpoon strikes out. Harmony, you just move out the way as it
Just blocks it
stretches
with her
past.
shield.
One thing you all do notice is the range on this attack is very rangy. It's not just a melee 5 foot. It's not even 10 foot. It goes beyond that.
To know.
That is its go. That's all it can do. We'll move on over to Harmony. You are on a unicorn. What would you like to do?
Be on a unicorn, please.
Your turn.
That's it. Thank you for playing.
Enough last turn. That this time I'm just going to be on a unicorn and be pleased about it.
Yeah.
No, let's see. I don't need to cast that anymore. Why am I looking at my spells? I don't want to do spells. All of you people do spells. I'm going to hit it with a sword, please.
Okay, you would have to move up, and I will say as your action you're able to do
my little pony.
Your action, you're
forwards.
Cool.
And then if the spindlebug is a size smaller than the horse, so I have the mounted combatant feat, so I get advantage.
Don't forget you have a D4.
And a D4. Advantage and a D4.
And inspiration if you want it.
A partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. So it's +7 to hit. Advantage. One of them was a nat 1, so thank you for the advantage. One is a 17 to hit.
17 just hits.
Did you?
Brilliant. And then I'll use my... it just hits. And then I'll use my extra attack. That is a 23 to hit.
Yes.
I think I'm going to dump 2 second level smites in these things.
You scoff at spell slots in this party.
But
when in doubt, use them all.
You just keep dumping spell slots, and then you guilt trip the DM into giving you a long rest, right? That's how you play a paladin.
That's totally how it works, yeah. 100%.
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
I've seen other people play paladins. I know this is how
that's the drill.
So that's 48, 8d8, plus another 48 is 12d8, right? Yes?
Plus,
I don't trust your maths.
2d8 for each hit with my rapier.
Yes.
So that's 48. Then
Yes.
I have done 2 second level smites. That's 48 and 48. So 12d8 total.
Yes.
Quick question. Sorry, Rebecca. With your rapier, does just the attack on its own do 2d8, or do you have to spend a charge to cause the other d8 to happen?
The charge
Just
is
the attack on its own does an
Right.
extra d8. The charges
Lighting effects.
give me more hit points.
Oh,
Got
Yeah,
you.
temporary.
Nice. Okay, cool.
It's just
even
really
better.
good. I mean,
Go on, just check.
that was my really rare item, is why it's really good.
No, good. Fine.
Are the lamp creeps within 5 feet of me?
They are not, no. The one to your right, on the other side of the room with the blue shell, is about 15 foot away from you. The one to your left on a diagonal, again, 20 foot away from you or so.
And nobody else seems to be in harm's way of Spindlebug, right?
No one seems to be.
Then I will stick to a defensive flourish.
Okay.
So that is another, I'm just going to do 1, so another 1 use of my inspiration, and that will give me more to my hit points again. So that's 12d8 plus 10 plus a d6. And I'm getting slightly faster. Slightly.
So glad you have to do this maths, not me. It's great. I love it.
I'm just hearing D8, 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 and nothing else is going in.
I'm just nodding. I'm like, yeah, sure.
That's pretty much what I'm doing. Ooh, on the 12d8, that was 71.
Oh.
Plus 10 is 81. And then I'll roll the d6 separately. It's another 6.
Okay.
So 87 points of damage, and my armor class has gone back up to
Right.
26.
I'm going to say one of the skewers of its arms is sort of, sorry everyone, slightly hanging off at a weird angle due to all of the damage that is happening.
It's still
to it.
alive?
It is still alive, yes.
Jesus, what?
Level 9, remember?
Do I want to cast a bonus action?
This thing's got more hit points than a dragon.
No one's hurt, are they? I'm gonna-
No, except your friend. If you'd like to heal them up so you can hit them more.
To lay on hands and give you all the hit points back so I can kill you again.
I'm going to save my spell slots for more smiting, so I'm not going to take a bonus action. So that is my turn. I will use my bonus action to pat my little pony and go, good pony.
It says to you. Marvelous. Harmony, you did nothing on your go. Like, nothing happened there. No damage occurred whatsoever. Creature's looking very ropey, everybody, just so you know. Harmony, is that your go ended?
Yes, Harmony's enjoying herself. She's on a horse. It's fun.
She is. We will move over to Heimlich. Heimlich, what are you doing?
Am I within 30 foot of the blue shell creature?
You're in 30 foot of the red shelled. That is 10 foot away from you on the floor to your left. The blue shelled one is about 50 foot away from you on the other side of the room.
Right, I'm going to attempt to move within 30 foot of it because I feel like the red shell one has got a lot of my mates around it and will probably be dealable.
Cool. If you could make a dexterity saving throw to go through the grease.
I will. Why did I leave? Am I within 10 foot of my paladin friend?
Yes, you would be in this space.
Hi, Heimlich. This is fun.
No, so 10 plus 5, 15.
Again, just meets the DC.
Do a little sort of slide across the room.
And as Heimlich kind of just slips and slides towards you, he's just going to run his hand through his hair and be like, "It's so charming to meet you, a very attractive thing." And what I'm doing is I'm pulling out my instrument of the bards, the McFermid Sitten, which gives me creatures disadvantage if I'm attempting to charm them, which I am by casting Charm Monster. But I guess we're fighting you, so it's just a flat roll.
Mm-hmm.
I got a natural 1.
So yeah, the blue thing is charmed by me, and I will say, it is lovely to have you here, but do you think you could maybe go away for as long as you can, and then you can do what you like? Just go away for me, please, now. I need you to be somewhere else.
So Charm Monster works in that it is friendly to you, right? It's not friendly to anybody else.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
I will. You attempt to charm a creature you can see within range. Charmed by you till the spell ends, or you or your companions do anything. The charm creature is friendly to you. Yeah. So it thinks I'm a very dear friend.
It does. You see the little boggly eyes either side of the giant maw that it has on its face, and there's a look of recognition there, Heimlich, as it kind of cocks its head towards you and looks sad that it has to run away. On its turn, it will move. I don't think it can move straight away. But yes, on its turn, it will certainly run away to wherever away is. So that's the blue one that is charmed. Cool. I'm just writing that down so I remember. Anything else on your go, Heimlich, that you would like to do? In fact, 1 second. You're still good. Anything else on your go you would like to do?
I will. Why not? In for penny, in for pound. I'll throw Bardic to Reggie and the legato, Reggie. Legato with the instrument. Maybe play, not throw. That's D8 Bardic in the next 10 minutes.
Your inspiration is sass.
Well, speaking of Reggie, Heimlich, if that's your go, you are in the grease. You'll have to make a save on your next go because you're still 30 foot away from the creature. But Reggie.
Sorry, Liz, in the interest of extreme honesty, I must have moved into melee to hit Creepy Boy, and I didn't make a dex save because the horse was in grease.
Got you. It's fine. For the purpose of this, it's okay.
I have a plus 12 to dex saves. It just wouldn't.
Don't worry about it. I believe it would have been the horse that would have had to make the dex save, not you. That's why you didn't make it. So that's fine. Reggie, over to you. What would you like to do if Heimlich, that's your go?
Can I just check the distance between Creepy Boy and the strange egg creature with dragon claws is less than 30 feet?
Yes, so there's about 15 foot between each of the slime creatures and Creepy Boy in the middle.
Hang on, Sam, are you talking about the friend egg or the unfriendly egg?
Unfriendly egg. Friendly egg is a horse egg.
Yeah, the shell creatures, yeah.
They're all eggs. Everything's eggs. Everything's an egg.
So you've got red shell, 15 foot, Creepy Boy, 15 foot, blue shell.
How symmetrical.
Right?
Sorry, 15 foot, 15 foot.
Yeah.
Okay. Reggie pulls back the guitar from this pocket dimension and begins to strike up. And uncomfortable augmented forth. And in doing so, the air in this space begins to form a twisting pattern of colours. I probably should have told everyone to shut their eyes. I'm going to need a wisdom save from... It says creatures, but I guess technically everyone?
Everyone's a creature.
Marvellous. So wisdom saves from everyone.
Get +5 if you're in 10 feet of me.
Good.
Am I
Is
within
the Sally
10?
between 10 feet of... I mean, because I stay behind, I think I won't have it, right?
But you're not within 30 feet, so it wouldn't affect you then.
If you're behind, so just to clarify, the 30 feet will be red egg to blue egg with person in the middle.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay,
technically,
so
I guess Reggie and Tesele are not in the...
Reggie, Tesele, Heimlich's also kind of back away from that point as well. Hunk's also not included in that, so it would simply be Harmony and the Steel Defender.
Oh no.
Oh,
Add the D6. Add the D6.
That is my 4th nat 20 of the game.
Get them out of the way now. You don't need them later. It's fine.
24 for my wisdom.
Fine.
is
Don't forget
this
to add a D4 as
charmed?
well.
Is this a charm effect?
Yes.
Oh,
So the Steel Defender is immune to be charmed.
What were the rolls for the eggs and man?
So we'll do the man first. I've just rolled. It was 18.
Okay, he's clear.
Cool.
Oh.
I'll do the red shell.
Hang on.
Oh.
If the man passes the save, I will use Silvery Barbs. It's a new spell.
Okay.
You magically distract the triggering creature, which is when a creature passes a saving throw or attack roll or ability check within 60 feet of you. The triggering creature must re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll. You can then choose a different creature you can see within range. You can choose yourself. The chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check or saving throw it makes.
Amazing. Well, in total, let me just... that would be 10. 10 it rolled as a result of that.
And I'll
Cool.
give the advantage to... You already get advantage, you don't need it. I'll give the advantage to 1, 2, 3, Heimlich.
Cool. I will then do the rolls for the creatures that look like lamp fittings. Okay, so the magic moves towards these, and you notice that the shell begins to sort of move in an erratic way. It's going to make that save. Let's see what it gets. 19 for the red one. 20 for the blue one.
So neither of them are affected, but the man in the middle of the room stands completely still. Their eyes glaze over as they're incapacitated and can't move on their next turn.
Nice.
Charmed,
Nice.
I'm sure. And that's the end of the turn.
Very nice, very
So
nice.
incapacitated.
Means no actions
Yeah,
until they're attacked.
got you. All right. So just to snap back to the creatures that look like lamp fittings that succeeded on that save. As the shell kind of moves to kind of protect them from this, I'm just going to roll some things to see what happens. We have got... Okay, so the red one. It seems to convert the energy that's coming towards it. And there is now a burst of destructive force. Everyone within 30 foot of the red snail, which is Heimlich, Reggie, Tesele, Hunk, Harmony, Steel Defender, not Heimlich, everyone but Heimlich. Please make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Am I close enough to Harmony to get the +5?
You are, yes.
Cool.
Just,
And I wouldn't be.
you were not.
Okay.
23.
25.
That's a natural 1 for a total of 3.
Oh no.
Don't forget to add a D4. Don't forget you add D4s. I mean, I know that won't help you that much there.
Well, this
but,
is
you know.
going to be a lot better now.
I'm just saying, you
You've
know.
got Bardic as well.
27.
Good
You
point.
can add a D8.
3. So that's 6
Yay,
plus.
Sally got
That's
a
12.
6.
12 and Tesele got a 6.
But the Steel Defender got a 26.
Don't forget that you
Okay.
can add a D4 to your 6. I know it won't, but you know. It's just there. Have it.
What was the DC of that spell that you cast initially, Reggie? The one that charmed the...
16.
Sorry, what was the spell level?
Oh, the spell level was 3rd.
3rd. Good to know. Those of you who failed, who did not get 15 or higher, you suffer maths. 14 points of force damage from this shell that just erupts your direction. The other one, there is no additional effect, but it does not get affected by the spell that you initially cast, Reggie. Reggie, that was your go. What happened? We liked it. We'll move on over to Taselli.
Yes, sorry. How much damage did you say? 16? 14. Just let me the damage. Okay, that was
14.
It was 14, but you were over the spell save.
Yeah, Taselli, you were. You didn't have to make that throw because you were not in range.
No, he rolled a 6.
I thought it was
wasn't even
26.
range.
It was Heimlich that was not in range. Taselli, you rolled a 6, so you take the full damage, which was 4.
Oh, sorry, I rolled 26. Sorry.
let me give you my concentration check, which is a 14. I think I pass. So enlarge, reduce, still on. And then they're like, oh my goodness. Oh. Time off. Taselli sort of crouches and grabs his cape and sort of flourishes, and a pair of beautiful butterfly wings appear in his back. Mm-hmm. And he's gonna fly all across the room, so passing on top of Harmony, the guy in the middle, and trying to be like the most behind. So it's just 30 feet of movement.
Oh.
So that's my movement. And then sort of grabs his twisters with the rhinestones and points at the blue thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to cast Thorn Whip. So Taselli wants to keep the thing to approach the others, so it's trying to pull it back.
So the same thing with the shell, Taselli. As you cast Thorn Whip, it seems to move in a weird way. So if you have to make an attack roll, please do so with a disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yep.
Great. Disadvantage. Roll. That was a natural 20.
Nice.
Total of 14. No, wait. 14 total.
14 total does not hit, I'm afraid. Something will happen as a result of that. Let's see. The spell has no effect on the creature. The Thorn Whip does not seem to hit it. It seems to be reflected back at you. Can you tell me what your attack modifier is for that spell?
No.
Yes.
Plus 8.
17 plus 8. Does that meet your DC?
Yeah.
And can you tell me the damage for Thorn Whip?
2d6 plus 1. Well, at my level, at my current level.
You take 8 points of damage as a result of doing that spell on the creature.
Okay, so let me give you a concentration. I got a 12, so enlarge reduce is fine.
Okay.
If we are applying the same, do I get pulled towards?
You would do, yeah.
So the cell is
10
sort of 10. So fires a sort of green energy that resembles like an hologram, or like an hologram of a poison ivy, and then it turns back, hits me, and sort of pulls me towards it. It's like, oh my goodness. But then I think, if possible, I'm still high in the air, so this thing won't reach me. And also,
Yeah, you're above the creature. It is 10 foot in height, though, so you're kind of face to face with this massive mouth.
Look down, it's like, oh my god. And next, I just the cell sort of whistles, and it's like an order for the Still Defender. And that ends my turn. Mm-hmm. We move to the Still Defender turn. Yep. So the Still Defender sort of goes into fit, 2 legs. And then I'm going to substitute the attack for the grapple action.
please roll a dexterity saving throw for the steel defender, just as it did move out of that grease, just so we've got that there.
So dexterity, I do have the extra from the paladin, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So saving throw. 17.
It's fine. What would you like to do?
So I'm gonna grapple with advantage because it's enlarged to this thing.
How does your steel... Oh, I guess with the horn. Okay, let's do a contest. Can it contest because it's incapacitated? It would be able to...
That's very true.
It can't
What do we want?
do an action.
Just leave it.
I would say you'd be able to grapple if you wanted, but it's incapacitated anyway.
Yes. Let's say that is grapple, or if you want me to roll.
I will say you can auto grapple if you wish to, because it can't contest.
Okay, so it grapples somehow, and then it finishes turns.
Cool. They hug.
Holding orders.
Hey.
Well, I guess we're doing this now.
And if that's your steel defenders go, we will move on over to Hunk.
Great.
Can I just say something? I failed a concentration save, which means that the major image upstairs disappeared.
Kimetsu coming from upstairs. Someone is not happy.
Cool. I will play another few chords and cast Sanctuary on Tesele. The goop things need to make a wisdom save of 15 to attack him.
Oh, to be able to attack him if they want to. Got you.
That was my bonus action.
Please remind me of that if the event occurs.
Oh, I will.
Yay.
Right. And as an action, interesting. Can't use a spell. Could use a cantrip. Choices. So spells cast against these things with shells seem bad.
It does appear to be that way, yes.
I've got low intelligence, just making sure. That's bad. Okay, I won't bother. Then in which case I will... Emboldening Bond is already up, so I think I need to do on that front. Action and movement. I'm currently still relatively close to Harmony, as in close enough to get the saving throw effect. None of these creatures are in melee with me or look to be getting into melee with me. No, I'll just stay there. I don't need an action. I'll just stay there. I'm still posing.
Nice. You're still, I love that you've been prone this entire time. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's a good cleric move. Just go down and lie down prone over there and it's fine.
We will move on over to the lamp widows. The red one rolled something, which means that this cloud of spores seems to exhale from it in a 15-foot cone. Now, that 15-foot cone would probably hit Reggie. Hunk, you are just out of it. So, Reggie, this is coming for you and you alone.
Nope.
Please, could you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
That is 20.
20, nice. You take half the damage that's coming up, which is 22, so you take 11 points of damage. You feel a wave of fright taking over you, but it does not take hold. You're not frightened of that creature. But this spore-like energy does seep into your mind. It's not nice. The other one does not get that effect, but it's going to attempt to run out of the way, which is what it was ordered to do.
No, it's not charmed anymore because it was attacked.
It will not do that. Instead, what it will do is bite the only thing in front of it, which is Tesele.
Wisdom
Tesele?
save of 15 to attack Tesele.
Thank you. This is why I asked you to remind me. Thank you. Let's roll that.
But didn't I attack the blue one?
Yeah, the blue one was the one I charmed.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It is a 9 in total on that wisdom save, so cannot attack.
If you've already decided to make the attack, it has to move the attack to something else in range, or it loses it.
It loses it. There's no one else in range. Nice. You see it chomp at the thin air, but nothing else. That is its go. The lonely figure is currently still incapacitated. Did you roll a concentration check on that if it needed it?
It Let me double check. I will need to. That is 19. So
it is still incapacitated, cannot move, cannot do anything as far as I'm aware. You guys
lying
are
on the ground.
In that case, Harmony, please save us.
Yeah. How poorly does Spindly Boy look?
So it's taken a whole chunk of damage. I'm going to say those spindles are pretty much hanging off. Please
Great.
save us.
First attack is a 23. That
23 hits, yes.
Let's stick a first level smite in there.
Okay.
So that is, how does smites work again? 2d8, so it's 4d8.
Maths with Harmony.
Maths with Harmony. You can actually use physical dice. Because there's so many. That is a 6, and a 6 is 12, and a 4 is 16, and a 5 is 21, plus 5, so 26 for the first hit.
Yes.
Is it still up?
It's still up. There's a shred of a smile left on its little gross face. Come on, end this.
Do I want to waste another smite? Yeah, no. So that's 24 to hit this time. And let's just do the 2d8 plus 5. Thank you. That is a 7, and that is a 6, 13, 18 more points of damage.
Harmony, please tell us how creepy spindle person is no more.
No.
Harmony's having a whale of a time. She's on a unicorn and she's with her friends and she is murdering for the love of Mistra. So
Love it, Mistra.
Gotta love it. So she is wailing in on Spindly Boy, and the way that she keeps herself inspired is chanting Plainsong responses under her breath. The outer line, but of course. So yes, as she realizes it's the killing blow, she gives that little twist to the rapier and just goes, "Amen."
It kind of responds in the way that people do with those sort of things, but it kind of resounds in this kind of creepy way, and it lilts just off chord as it descends to the ground unmoving. At this point, I'm going to say that we're technically still in combat, but with things that aren't moving very quickly. But what you all do see, a couple of things. You see, or more hear first, from upstairs. You've made quite a bit of noise. You hear Ducky shouting quite loudly, but you also hear the sound of shuffling feet moving quickly towards the hole in the ground that you created where the stairs once were. You see the column of darkness still whooshes, but there's a flash of light and it sort of crackles. And at the base of the column of smoke in the center of this place, you see appearing one by one a set of circular windows in time and space, each of them connected to the column by a sort of inky tendril. There are 4 what appear to be portals here, though 3 of them are dormant. They're like greyed out. You can't really see what is through them. One, however, seems very awake. The music in your minds has been present this entire time. From the one that is awake, you hear the familiar symphony of notes that you have all been hearing. They are very loud and they are emanating from this mystical gateway. There's a swirling mass of purple energy moving in time with the music. One by one, to most of your lefts, through the archway, you see the hole that you created when the stairs fell over. And falling like ragdolls through this hole in costumes from Midsummer Night's Dream are these zombies who kind of begin to kind of get up, looking at you. You are technically still in combat with the snails, although the choice is yours as to how you proceed. The snails move fairly slowly. What would you lot like to do? We have had Harmony's go. It would be over to Heimlich if you want to stay in initiative. Although the choice is yours.
Heimlich will, if we feel like I can slip. Oh, it's hard to do this in the 6-second moment and not metagame.
It's fine. I will allow a little bit of thought for this. It's a decision. Go for it.
He will shout out to the group, like, maybe we follow the music, and look at Sunny, like, and maybe a bit more rehearsal next time.
Yeah.
And run and jump through, try and make it through the grease and jump through the portal.
Okay. I won't have dexterity saving throws for this. Slipping and sliding and falling over occasionally. Those of you who are in grease, you're able to kind of your way towards where this portal is, which is out of the grease, fortunately. You do not incur attacks of opportunity. The one that was near to Sally is kind of moved away. Do the rest of you follow through this portal? The other zombies are kind of falling through one by one.
Yeah.
If Heimlich's already gone, there's very much a kind of the choice has been made for us. Like, all right, because I'm going.
As Reggie follows, he'd just like to do one last thing. He'd like to throw his guitar at the red dragon clawed snail boy.
Yes. It's a final act of defiance.
As a final act of defiance against the situation he's been dragged into by his compatriot, which will be, I'm going to roll the next. That's a 14.
14 does not hit. Or more it does, but it just like kind of clang to the floor. The rest of you watch as Reggie just throws his instrument again. What is happening?
Just turns towards the portal and slowly slinks off, Charlie Brown style, like head down to the floor, leaving the guitar behind.
What?
So you can resummon it. It's not important.
I'll be fine.
I
There's
know
now a
this.
very happy zombie with a guitar. Do the rest of you follow what's going on?
Yeah. Step straight after it. If
Yeah.
yeah.
Heimlich is a sweet, soft baby who needs protecting.
Sally makes a barrel roll in the air and then goes to the portal.
Of course. Can we have an acrobatics check to see how filthy that barrel roll in the air is, please, to Sally?
Sure. Close. 11.
It looks great up to the moment that you join your allies on the other side, where you kind of land a bit awkwardly. It looked great before that, but no one saw because you were the last in. All of you, one by one, you now appear. The portal behind you closes in a flash of purple. You find yourselves, in fact, first, Heimlich and Harmony. Could you make a Constitution saving throw for me? Everyone else among you, you're fine.
Interesting.
17.
18.
You feel your lunch or your breakfast begin to rise, but then it settles down again. You're both fine. The rest of you are absolutely fine. You are surrounded by an overgrown garden. The light is dim. You can smell the vegetation, like autumnal rotting leaves mulching into the ground. You're stood amongst ivy, black rose-like plants, and the petals are falling off them. You see fern fronds with jagged leaves and droplets of condensation on them. The air here feels humid, and sure enough, as your eyes adjust, you see thousands of panes of dirty glass connected by wrought iron, perhaps once upon a time painted white, but now crackled and stained with rust. Some panes in the ceiling are missing, lost to time and the elements. This space is large, and for the life of you, you can't quite make out where the door is because it's so cluttered in here with plant life, though you do seem to be in the center of this space. There are several bent and rusted spiral staircases which lead up to what would have been a mezzanine once upon a time. You see vines kind of pulling those down as well, not literally, but they kind of wrapped around and causing them to creak. You are standing in this vast greenhouse. You can hear two things. One is the sea, and the other is creaking. And that is where we will stop this game for today. Thanks, everybody. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Oh, so thank you, everyone, for joining us and being part of that dark, bardy, and shadowy episode that was tonight's show. If you have enjoyed tonight, thank you for watching. The next Tuesday show will be Ancient Antics. which will show 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific. So 6 p.m. UK time, 10 a.m. Pacific on Tuesdays. We will be playing every other Monday. So we are not next week, we are the week after. In the in-between weeks when we are not playing, so next Monday, Noir will be DMing Into the Sunset. And we are very excited for that to be going on. Same time on, is it Saturdays? We still have Talk Together, or
Fridays,
has that moved
these
to
days.
Fridays? Yeah, Fridays, same time, Fridays. Talk Together, which is our chat show where we interview players, DMs, and other TTRPG industry voices. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/RollTogetherRPG. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available pretty much everywhere. Just search for Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There will be a link in chat now. Ask those mods, we like them. Do join the Patreon. Every penny helps us make the content that we do. Big thanks once again to our sponsors, Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, Elderwood Academy, and our supporters, D&D Beyond, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Warriors of Waterdeep, and Level Up Dice. Don't forget, we are all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Thank you for watching. Have a great week. We will see you in 2 weeks' time. And thank you very much.